Welcome, one and all, to the land of branding and bodaciousness, the two Bs, or should we say, the Butter Bunch. My name is Jacob Butter.
And I'm
A ram, apparently. I don't know. Fair enough, then. And, well, welcome back to another, to the parts of Starkid history that I have intentionally held off on, and for good reason. We are in what I like to call the middle era of Starkid. Post-Potter, pre-Hatchetfield, but oh my, does it not feel like they are struggling for identity whatsoever. It seems like they very much like found their footing at this stage, and Hatchetfield was a happy accident along the way, actually, that netted them even further gains. So yeah. And not to mention also 1080p. Yeah.
Partly, yes, welcome to the show, but also, you know what else we need to welcome our chat to?
The new stream mode updates, the scenes. I've covered that. I've got that set up for later.
No, the Butter Bunch.
Oh, well, okay, yeah, I kind of like I twisted the intro for today. Yeah. So yes, we're having a look at Twisted. Hang on a second. Here we go. Yeah, and see, that's what I mean with the use of scenes. I can just do that now and had it already prepared, actually. Apart from this bit here. Here we go. Something along these lines. That'll work. Yeah. So so not only do we have a 1080p video from Starkid themselves, but actually this was released as a full show. We're not dealing with any parts that someone has spliced together, whether that was actually somebody from the wide recess of the internet or myself. No, this was just here, even though I did actually render it so that we would get to the end of Act 1. So this is just Act 1. So I split it apart this time rather than just putting it together. So there we go. All right. As for the chat here, this show's my absolute favorite. It's definitely one of my favorites. I mean, it's a great way to kick off what they would want to start doing from this point onwards, or kind of more what they want to veer into, I suppose.
Yeah, isn't yours something called like Fire Dance or whatever?
Firebringer, yes, that is my absolute favorite, along with Guiding Light musicals. So yeah, but this one, if I had to choose, maybe a second favorite, yeah, potentially, or Trail to Oregon, actually. One of those two would be my second favorites if you don't count the two that joined first. No, Fair Point of Seniors must be the last Starkid show that was as such by mistake early on. Also, this was labeled as the last one, even though they promoted it after the one that was supposed to be the last. Okay, all right, fair enough. I do remember that someone said that last time. I don't know if we addressed that during senior year, but we did actually hear. Okay, so it was supposed to be the last one. Which kind of makes sense because it seemed like, people were moving on to different things from the Starkid team. It was difficult to try and like get into schedule together. They started off as essentially a group that like met in college. And of course, that meant they had what seemed to be a limited lifespan. Studio C disproved this concept later on, but we hadn't got to that stage yet. Oh, they're going to make this, but it wasn't going to be Starkid branded. I see. Okay. We are also a few years away from Tin Can Bros' first show. Tin Can Bros, the channel existed by this stage, I'm pretty sure, but they didn't have but Spies Are Forever was 2016, so yeah. I guess they could have called it something else, but to be perfectly honest, I can see why they didn't, because I mean, if you have most of the same people and something that has like garnered you so much, why on earth would you? The answer is sometimes if you want to like move away from that brand, or you want to like start something fresh, people like associated with just being the Harry Potter people, but they had already made efforts through things like things like Honey Musical Batman or Starship, or dare I say it, MAMD, yes. That
or
they made efforts to show they could do other things.
Yeah, splitting off would also maybe be a good idea if it had like artistic merit. That's kind of what Unus Honest did.
I suppose, yeah, but Unus Annus was, again, it was a full year project. This would have been essentially one show, which, yeah, maybe that would have been the case, but that could have also made it like fade into the depths of obscurity fairly quickly. So I guess in some ways, if you think about it, this show was almost like another make or break for Starkid in that sense. So in that case, what did they do? Let's find out. Without further ado, on with the review.
Once upon a time.
I think we can see what they're spoofing immediately. Like not just the one property, but the thing overall.
Dude, I was about to say, just because I grew up with like all those like old like Disney DVDs, I saw that and I was like, oh, where's Tinkerbell and the FBI warning saying not to pirate, and brought to you by Laser Color or whatever it was.
Yeah, I do remember those piracy warnings. The problem was, as a child, I wasn't fast enough to read that. So all I saw was a bunch of like flashing lights like, you wouldn't steal a blah, blah, blah. You won't steal a blah, blah, blah.
I remember being weirdly like afraid of it. I think what it was because you had the other stuff, but then you had the FBI warning, which always seemed a little more serious than Tinkerbell floating by and like smacking the logo. But also, yeah, I think it reminded me of like the warnings that would pop up on your TV randomly if like not randomly, if it was like a tornado or something was coming. Like the bah, 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 and that always scared me.
That seems, yeah, okay, I'll say we don't get those.
So what do you mean? Your government just doesn't just break into your TV like anytime a tornado or something comes over?
I don't recall the last time I heard a tornado in the UK or Spain reported in the news, quite honestly.
Oh yeah, no. So if you get like
you do live in like more or less like near Wizard of Oz territory, so that does make sense for you.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's in general like line geographically. That's probably why they installed that.
But no, if we have like severe weather or something, we'll get like they'll activate something on everyone's like TV if you're around the area. Or if it like heavy snowstorms and stuff, we'll get it too. Where it'll just go like bah, 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 very freaky and intrude on your show, and it'll tell you in like a very serious like tone, like if you live in one of these counties, then you must, get shelter, evacuate. This is a warning that these places are closed, yada yada yada. And it's like, okay, well, this is very actually.
Yeah, well, I mean, it would be. It's a clever idea. The one thing I would do to improve that, I guess, would be to just show it in the counties that are affected. Like if they had a system that would just be like, okay, what way to like. Well, then again, okay, so why does it need to specify if you live in these counties? If you're seeing, they could just say if you're seeing the message, get out.
Because sometimes it's multiple counties if it's a large enough vicinity, and so it'll say like yada yada, and it'll like scroll past like on the very bottom like all the different counties that are affected.
Oh wait, hold on. So it scrolls past. You have to like stay and read to make sure to see if your county's involved.
Yep.
Okay, that's the part that I would definitely say would need the improvement there.
Yes.
I could just imagine, poor old Meemaw Peepaw living in the middle of Texas being like, oh, well, let's go over here, look, and we'll see if these counties are involved. Okay, so, all right, Skull. Oh, gadzooks, I missed it. They're on to G now. We live in the F county. Okay, we gotta wait for the skulls back around again. Make sure you pay attention, Margaret, if you see it next time.
Yes. Unfortunately, yes, that is exactly the case.
So, yeah, that's the part that I would say, okay, needs an update, but in general, a good idea.
Fun times, and they just hate your phone. Well, I think they actually do both. They started doing phones mainly because they did it after obviously phones got super popular, but now I think the phones are just the main thing that people see it through because cable's kind of a dying medium, but
yeah, they They can't interrupt, Disney Plus yet.
Yeah, I'm sure they're working on it. I am almost entirely confident they're working on it. There's no way they are.
Me, Mom, and Peepa are just watching, like classic Disney movies from their childhood or something.
And then they're like, oh boy, aren't you so glad we can just watch everything without interruption? Sure, we have to pay $20 now to avoid the ads, but no, it's found us.
Oh my goodness. The best part would be if someone was actually watching The Wizard of Oz and they just got confused. It's like War of the Worlds. Which, fun fact, apparently that was like massively blown out of proportion. People weren't actually like, like in like a mass panic nationwide. It was like one area or something. But they still made a disclaimer.
Pretty sure the last time the UK had an alert like that was World War II. Oh, wow,
yeah.
that's
so we did.
crazy.
Okay, yeah. So we did have, like particularly there were several different types of alerts, but the most famous one was like the air raid. Alert. It wasn't TV based, because TV's kind of like really started like they go to people's houses in the 1950s, so slightly later on. But yeah, the air raids, the alarms were a very common thing, and yeah, they were just like they were everywhere.
Man, I always thought our thing wasn't even all that rare. Just me describing what I just did kind of makes that sound much more apocalyptic than I've always imagined it. I mean, I always thought the noise was freaky, but like, Jesus, the idea of like, oh, last time we heard one of those was during the air raids in World War II, and I'm like, oh,
I feel like World War II sounds appropriately apocalyptic as far as a
sure, but the thing is, we get those warnings like every couple months, maybe a few times a month.
That's, again, geographically based on where you live, it makes sense for that to be the case.
Sure.
Fun fact also, another like, general like alert or the general like alarm system that, okay, never mind, she's gone. Okay, I'll talk about it when we get back.
I'm right here, my headphones are on.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say, one thing that we also don't get in the UK or Spain, Amber Alerts.
Wait, really? You guys have an equivalent? Because I feel like that's another one that freaks me out. I turned off, but like, that's a pretty important detail. Like that.
Oh yeah, no. It makes sense. It makes sense to have them. Well, I mean, I don't know about useful necessarily, because like, what do you like exactly do as a response to a lot of them? It's like, okay, well I'll keep an eye out. But yeah, like, I understand why they do this.
It's because on Amber Alerts it describes like the appearance of the person or what they're driving, if they can, or like where the person was last seen. So I think the idea is if you see something of that description, you can call the police.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get why. I'm just saying that for the majority of people, they're not going to see that, so they're not going to find use in it. But
oh no, I mean, it automatically turns on. You have to turn it off. Like, we'll at least catch a glimpse.
That's not what I was saying. That's not what I was getting at, and I know that's why I compared it, because obviously you can't turn off the tornado alarm setting. I don't think on your TV, unless that is a thing. I was about to be like, yeah, you probably don't want to turn that off anyway. I would think. I mean, you say if only. I'm sure you would rather, the noise and the tornado. I would imagine.
I don't know, man. The tornado might be a little quicker. The noise makes me incredibly anxious.
I mean, well, yeah. I guess without like being in like the closest vicinity to an actual tornado, maybe you can't actually compare in that sense. But okay. All right. UK constantly has tiny earthquakes notices them. They used to feel like if someone slammed a door. Well, I mean, most like earthquakes in general, that's why the Richter scale exists in the first place. Japan has consistently much greater earthquakes. My parents actually were in Japan one time, and they actually like started to freak out when the table started to shake, that everyone just seemed to continue. So they also just continued like it was normal, because they're used to it. So you can get accustomed to a lot of things. Tornadoes aren't one of those things, but you can get accustomed to some other things. Yeah.
I think the low, I guess, but like, if you know someone is like on the run or whatever, I think it's still like a relevant. I don't know. I think the fact that it is still possible for it to be useful is a good enough reason to keep them around.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not dissing the reason behind it. I'm just saying that, you know, we don't actually have those. Maybe we should. It depends. I'm not sure what the statistics of child kidnappings are in different places, but I don't imagine once you factor in the population, there's much discrepancy. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Sure.
Anyway,
I imagine it would actually be better for you guys because you have a much smaller area too.
Well, yeah, less places to a few places to I guess flee to, I suppose. When you send that there, I don't know. Depends on like where we are, because there's lots of like green areas or something. So yeah, who knows? But yeah, again, other examples. There are also silver alerts for elderly. Oh, I didn't know that.
What is that? That one I don't know.
Well, I guess it's the equivalent, but if amber alerts are for children, then silver alerts being for the elderly would mean they'd be the same thing. I guess if you kidnap an elder person,
they get silver. That's kind of rad.
But what's the equivalent for somebody like within that middle like age range between child and elderly? You know.
I guess I've always seen teenagers in like a lot of amber alerts. So maybe amber includes kids and I guess just anyone that isn't like an adult.
Yeah. By the way, you want to know the reason that I know what an amber alert is in the first place?
Yeah, sure.
I learned from Andy Mack. Because there was a character, well, there was a character in Andy Mack. Bear in mind, like they removed like all but 2 episodes, I think, from like any broadcasting / streaming services. Yeah, but there was a character at one point named Amber, and the way that she would like enter a scene, sitcom style, was by saying Amber Alerts. And that's when somebody pointed out what an Amber Alert actually was, and that's where I learned what it was for the first time.
Oh, no. Okay. So Amber Alert is for like kidnapping stuff. The Silver Alert is if people like with dementia or such wander off.
Oh, okay. That is useful. I remember there was a dementia patient next to my nan in hospital one time, and she kept on trying to escape. She never got far, obviously, because she was in the middle of a hospital and she was like 90 years old, but still. I guess if you're not in that situation, you would probably reach further before somebody interfered. Anyways,
what if they're a good problem solver, but part of the problem with dementia and those sorts of things is they kind of degenerate those skills. So.
Yeah, I don't think that particular patient would have been able to solve the problems, because most of the time she just got out of bed and just started like walk away on her walking frame, by the way. So she wasn't even going fast. So she never got far, which is like, oh yeah, okay, there goes, I think her name was Mary. There goes Mary with this escaping again. Yeah.
So is it Mary?
Yeah, that was also my nan's name. She went by Josie, but her official first name was Mary.
There's a lot of really old people that are named Mary, I'm realizing. Actually.
Yeah, there's a lot of middle-aged people in Spain called Maria for the exact same reason. Spain is well, at least historically, was a much more Catholic country and has been for much longer. So yeah, there's lots of Marias, Isabels, Josés for men. Even
Isabel
a couple of
is such a
Jesus
pretty
here
name.
and there. Yeah, that's true. All right. Anyway, but enough of child kidnappings and dementia patients wandering off and tornadoes. Back to the fun Disney parody. Back to the fun Disney. Yeah.
It was a magic kingdom.
Yeah, we didn't get past the logo before having a tangent. Okay, let's.
It's one of our darker tangents too. I love it. Usually it takes us away at least halfway through to go off the fucking deep end like that.
Why do people watch this channel? Okay, carrying on.
That prospered through its commitment to 2 simple ideals, duty and devotion. The 2 Ds.
Now you see why I did my
intro.
intro.
Stood as a shining beacon for artisans, craft.
By the way, that movement there, like that thing there, I remember that was like a movement I had to do like in a performance one time before it became a TikTok challenge. And like it was one thing that's like I could never pull it off like really well at all. Like I practiced like for ages and could do it at some point, but I've forgotten now.
Craftsmen and storytellers who all flocked to the land with a dream to uphold the sacred 2 Ds. Through through their hard work, a glorious golden age came to the kingdom, followed by a second, even greater than the first. Then came the dark times. The kingdom fell into the hands of an evil sultan, and through his negligence, the kingdom fell to ruin.
Starting to see what this is really, a commentary on, rather than just Aladdin.
The happiest place on earth.
I'll also say, fun fact, the term Dark Age gets used for like very grim like stories a lot of time. And so that's kind of what it's associated with. Fun fact, the reason it's actually called the Dark Age is not because it was like super apocalyptic and just the worst period in the world. It was pretty average, actually. It's just that we don't have nearly as much historical records from that era as we do for most.
Yeah, I think it's also because like it's somewhat understood there was less to report, as in like because that was like a period of less like invention or artistic finding and etc. etc. So people just were like, I don't know. Today was kind of average, I guess.
Yeah.
Came to crappiest place on earth.
Right.
Despite the efforts of one man, a man with a dream, to restore the kingdom to its former glory and to bring about the prophesized third golden age. A misunderstanding.
See, they wanted to say Renaissance, I assume, but they, I don't know.
Man. This is his story. The untold story of a royal vizier.
It's kind of fitting given like recent cinematic releases, not Disney ones actually. I just mean like in general that we actually are talking about this particular story today. And it's a shame that Amed isn't here to enjoy it because he actually wants me to see said cinematic release. But anyway.
Also, I agree. Yeah, for obvious reasons. Yeah, I don't know.
We moved past the trying times and into the interesting times.
Yeah, I don't know. I was about to say earlier, I didn't do it just because I thought, but I guess since the opportunity presents itself a second time, I may as well. Yeah, I don't know. A period being called the dark times because it has nothing to report kind of sounds like a golden age to me from like a general perspective of history.
It depends on what you're reporting on, yeah. It's also like Starkid also told me why Black Friday was called Black Friday. I didn't realize that at first, and of course they turned it into something darker than it was. As it was already pretty dark to begin with, based on how people reacted to it, but whatever. What a great introductory face. Oh, you missed it. I'm gonna go back for a second. Okay, look at his face.
I look around the kingdom and see the desperation and the devastation that persists no matter what I do. But today could be the day.
Is this the guy who played as Alfred?
No, that was Chris Allen. This is Dumbledore / Tom Houston from the Hatchetfield. Yeah.
Okay.
Make a difference.
And also the guy that I think you said was exceptionally intimidating in Wayward Guide last week.
And all the grateful citizens will say to me,
Fuck you!
Fuck you!
Fuck you!
Fuck you, Jafar.
oh, good morning, Baker.
Where are you?
Hey,
This has the
someone,
the opening of
someone
Beauty and the
needs
Beast, actually.
Someone needs to tell the Jim Henson Company that Starkid stole the opening song about Scrooge.
Well, I have heard that one, and yeah, they probably did want to swear at him as well, but yeah, I guess.
Well, I mean, this is pretty much just the cliff notes of the entire song, let's be honest.
Honestly, this reminds me, this sequence you'll see as we go along, this reminds me a lot more of Beauty and the Beast than it does Muppet Christmas Carol.
Off to today, you no good piece of shit.
Piece of shit!
Minus the puppet existing.
Did you just call me a bastard?
No, friend, I said nothing. That was my bird. He has the ability to repeat words that others have spoken.
Well, in that case, maybe you should teach him these words. Fuck you, Jafar. Marie! The baguettes! Hurry up! I don't we have enough to eat. Why?
Oh, there we go. I guess after he got snuffed for his song entry, they gave him a role. Good for them.
That's a good enough apology. That works, I would say. If ever a reparation was needed, that works, I think.
Exactly.
Why does my baby always cry?
Probably because you throw it in the air, but okay.
Why did my mommy have to die?
She got thrown as well.
Mine too!
By the way, Lauren Lopez is completely underutilized in this performance. That's one of my only drawbacks of this show.
The answer here is crystal clear. Jafar, that ugly old Vizier! He's the reason for our many wars!
I always love that musical scene.
We're upset. We shouldn't fret. We mustn't let ourselves forget the saying every child raised within the kingdom knows. You've got to dream a little harder when life won't go your way. Simply dream a little.
Okay, so I know that this is clearly the Julie Andrews nod, honestly, but with the facial expressions, it really brings a new dimension. Considering that, honestly, Mary Poppins can be really intimidating in the right lighting.
Sure, but this also harkens back to a classic musical theater trope where you have the big town uproar, and then you have the one random woman coming in and becoming the only singing voice, and it's a lot slower, generally more calm than everyone else. It's kind of the peacekeeper role archetype.
Yeah, a little bit.
Say that when you dream a little harder, you're sure to
And they are mesmerized. Look at them. Jamie Lynn Beatty is still coming off the entranced Ginny performance as did for the entire senior year.
Cause if you're good and you're attractive, no need to be proactive.
Good things will just happen to you!
I've come to return the book I borrowed.
Oh, Jafar! It took you long enough, you shit-eating dog.
But I couldn't put it down. It's one of my favorites. The story of a misunderstood witch who's really not wicked at all. She's just green. But she still gets blamed for all the kingdom's problems.
How timely, given what just recently released.
That's what I was saying before about the cinematic releases. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, if Aiden were here, though, this is where he's gonna start blabbing for the next 30 minutes about Wicked.
You know what? I'm gonna send a message in the group chat. So I'm gonna say, yeah, let's see.
As Jacob asked, why do people watch the show? And then I say, if Aiden were here, he'd be blabbing for 3 minutes about Wicked because it just mentioned Wicked. And he goes, you know what? I'm gonna DM him.
No, because that's a good excuse for him to come in. I just kind of clocked that, just to be here in general. I don't want him to miss out on Twisted. It's one of my favorites.
Sure, I just appreciate that it's not even an hour after he went. Why do people watch this show?
Yeah. Also, on the subject of Wicked, I've been watching the Dominic Noble videos analyzing the story of Wicked from the book to the film to the blah blah blah, etc. etc. He seems to not exactly be a huge fan of the book. Now I have the book, but I haven't actually read it yet. I've had it for a while, and it turns out after that, it's do I actually want to read this or not? Because a lot of it doesn't seem to sit as well as it did when I watched the musical. So I don't know.
Hey, why was the musical more cheery?
Well, I mean, musicals often are. It depends on the source material.
You're better than me just because you can read. Well, get out of my
Well, let's go
bookstore.
Disney.
We don't like your kind in here anyway.
What about the...
There's so much unpacked with the face and everything. Yeah.
Keep it, and may the rats ejaculate upon you.
Thank you!
Why is the king
Yeah, I don't know if you want to keep eating during this. I should have said something.
Kingdom plagued by theft. Why are there no more good jobs left?
Why does the sun go down at night? Is everyone in the kingdom white?
Yeah.
Mostly wealthy.
You're very right.
It's theater. It's theater. That's always the answer. You know, you cast whoever is there, essentially.
Mostly wealth.
Yes.
Mostly wealth, but
do they know what Wales is in this in the Magic Kingdom?
a background joke that probably the audience didn't even hear. Like just sing like roughly going over like the financial inequality.
Yeah. Well, the financial inequality from what? From Wales compared to? Oh, sorry. Yeah, compared to like the rest.
Yeah,
of
well,
the
yes, why is everyone in the kingdom white? And someone in the background like mumbles something along the lines of like, "Oh, probably because of wealth."
Oh,
Like,
I thought they said I'm half Welsh or something. I'm mostly Welsh.
No wealth.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Then I just misheard that.
Just could ever trust a face that triggers such disgust.
They really are doing whatever they can to put him center stage. And also, that face is amazing. Honestly, that face probably beats like any Higgins expression, like in isolation. Not the general performance, but just the expressions. Oh, okay. Maybe I was right. I don't know. Okay, in the comments, engagement. Let us know. Did you hear because of wealth, or did you hear mostly Welsh?
God damn, we're gonna get another set of comments being like, actually, hey, fuck Bibi. God damn it.
I heard public health.
I heard public health. God damn it. Shut up, Abby. No one asked you. God damn it.
When I said in the comments, I didn't mean the live chat, but sure, we'll do this. Yeah, all right then. Thanks, everyone.
I'm getting instant feedback, and somehow it's not any better.
I think like on like the first Starkid reaction we ever did, but someone summed it up by saying that like BB was so confidently wrong about stuff.
I heard it. I swear to God, I heard well.
Good to know that nearly 2 years after that review, we're still keeping up the traditions.
In the context of that comment, I'm pretty sure they were talking about my interpretations and such, which I'm 99% sure some of those I'd probably still stick with. In my defense on this, okay, I actually just heard them say wealth. I'll maybe succumb to the other comment given the context of it. But I heard it, I swear to God.
Yeah. By the way, unrelated, but I love Jim Povolo in the shadows in this scene.
For if you
Dream a little harder.
you'll get what you desire.
And Jeff Blim in the
Dream
front.
a little harder. When things are looking dire, if you dream a little harder, success is guaranteed. If you are sure of your intention.
Think about the Disney message over the years. That's what they're saying.
You right. I'm just saying, it's not quite accurate. There's a little bit more dreams that have to make that.
Oh, pardon me, ma'am.
Oh, that's all right. Just try to keep your fat face out of that motherfucking book.
One of my favorite deliveries.
I know that I'm no prize. I'm not so easy on
Jim
the
Povolo makes
eyes.
every show.
I can't rely on looks to get me by.
Don't fucking zoom in on me like that, camera.
Oh. Yeah, what we're saying, I can't rely on looks.
I bent down to eat and I see my camera go down. I see my face cam like as like mid.
If we
And so I'm like,
Imagine if we did like outro stings, like like in old sitcoms where they have like a freeze frame of the characters, like in this video featuring Jacob Potter, Phoebe Potter.
We need to please give us it. It would be so fun if we had a sitcom styled intro. That'd be so good. Oh my god. Friends Butter Bunch intro? It goes so hard.
There's I mean, we have half the regulars that the Friends did, but you know. But anyway, we're basically a Joe Povolo fan club. Who is Joe Povolo?
But ugliness permits a man to use his wits, because pretty people never have to try.
This is why I like this more than Wicked, actually. Like, even like aside, like after watching the musical, still this actually, because it doesn't have to like use like, you know, like thinly veiled metaphors of that nature. It's like, yeah, we will. Like, we already have a thing that we're critiquing, like, very specifically. We're going to hone in on that, but it also applies universally. I love that.
I hear the people whisper as I walk about the streets. I know they call me Ugly Old Jafar.
Not really a whisper, but fair enough.
I call planning, they call scheming. What I call delusion, they call dreaming. Why am I the only one who sees things as they are? Why not buy some? I want to be realistic. I want to be a cat. Fuck you.
There's spoonful of sugar. Honestly, you know, do like if you want to be a cat, go to a convention. Make a convention. Imagine Arabian convention.
Dream hard enough, my friends. Jafar will meet a violent end. He could be skewered by a sailing ship, or hanged in tangled jungle vines,
Or eaten by hyenas.
or he'll plummet to his.
Hold on, where are you going to find
them-
jungle vines? You live in a desert. What jungle vines?
Unfortunately for them, I think they still got a couple hundred years left for the first furry convention in like the 19-somethings.
Yes, well, or possibly even longer. I'm not entirely sure when the story of Aladdin takes place. It's kind of hard to pinpoint sometimes. But yeah, also I'm pretty sure these are all descriptions of like how actual Disney villains died. Like the Jungle Vines thing, that was Clayton from Tarzan. I get that, but like, where are they gonna find that? Yeah. Oh, and there we go. There we go. Thought so.
Death from a castle, a clock, or a cliff. And
Yeah, a lot of falling actually in Disney movies, particularly.
if we dream a little harder, our patience and our honor will rid us of that ugly old Jafar.
Is he trying not to laugh right now? I think he is. Made them force have to show the body. Well, Lion King begs to differ on that one. They did both.
To be fair, let's say Lion King made them fall and then had the stampede go over.
And showed the body right afterwards. Yeah. He's trying to... Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, honestly, if I have those people that come and like, ugly old Jafar! Like, I'd just be like... I would also struggle a little bit. Yeah.
Bird, sometimes I feel as if you're my only friend in this world.
Fuck you.
Right. Oh, my book, it's covered in mud. Oh, no, wait, is that shit?
Is it?
Again, fantastic delivery.
That smell is me, Jafar. You would not believe the morning I've had.
Why is my captain of the Royal Guard covered in shit?
Well, my men and I just jumped from a window and into a cart of crazy
Oh, that's why that keeps her in the shadows. Now I get it.
Hakim's discount fertilizer.
Why?
We were chasing a man. No, a devil. A thief who every day robs from the common folk. Bread, laundry off of clotheslines, and even watermelons.
This is a fair point. He does rob the common folk almost exclusively. Then again, he wouldn't have access to anywhere else, so I guess that's probably why.
We tried.
Yeah, he's certainly not Robin Hood.
They learned from like how not to traumatize kids, but still fail at that. Did they? I don't know. If I hadn't watched Babar before Lion King, I might have had that be like the major thing that were like, you know, maybe like scared of dead bodies for a while.
It's just one jump ahead. Today, things got a little out of hand, and a lot of good people are dead.
Explain.
Well, the sword swallower slit his throat from the inside when the thief's pet monkey ripped the sword right out of it. You know the guy that sleeps on the bed of nails?
Yes.
A fat guard fell on him. Now he's dead. Then when we fell from the window and into the cart of manure, Cabal snapped his neck on impact. 2 more choked on shit. All this for a loaf of bread.
Yeah. Also, I think that was like the longest. I thought it was the longest line that Jim Polo has ever delivered. Actually.
I will be right back. Give me a moment.
Oh, okay. All right.
You're alive? I thought you choked on shit.
Yeah.
Did we get the loaf of bread back?
Oh no, I'm sorry, the thief got away with...
I mean, oh yeah, that's a good point. I guess he wouldn't know. I guess the guard did kind of describe the incident of them actually getting away, but yeah. They said they were chasing him, really, but yeah.
Yes. Yes, Abdul, we got the bread back.
Praise.
Work right now. Oh, there you go. It was all meant to be. Fantastic. Of course, that's how you do it.
This is all your fault, Jafar.
My fault.
Man, I've been saying this is all your fault, Jafar, in videos for the longest time. I thought, like, finally now would be the time, like, oh yeah, this is where I've, you know, this is where that line comes from. It's like, well, well, hopefully she'll be back by the time that the captain says it next time.
How is this my fault and not that thief's?
There wouldn't be any thieves if you fixed the socio-economic inequality like you promised.
This is a fair point. No, all politicians promise that to some degree, or at least like tackle and reduce it. But ultimately, it is like inherently impossible to kind of like do because it's like essentially like a part of human nature that's being like constantly repressed. So yeah, I get why like it doesn't usually happen, but it's like it's interesting. You don't get so many like examples of shows where you have to kind of like sympathize for the politician in them. That's another like major strength of Twisted.
Why do you even bother visiting us commoners anymore, you aristocrat?
Also, by the way, I would rewind, but I mean, if we rewound like every time someone left one of these reviews, we would never finish them.
Cat.
There's a very important prince coming into
Oh, it's Aristocat. Okay, right.
town today from one of our vassal kingdoms, the land of Pixar. I've come to welcome him personally.
Another suitor for the princess?
No, if only, Captain. He's here because the trade agreement between his kingdom and ours has expired, and I've got to extend the contract, or our kingdom is doomed. That's why I pulled out all the stops to make this prince's visit a happy one. We've
I mean, you kind of walked around for a bit and got insulted.
arranged a character breakfast with our princess, giving him a 2-day park hopper pass, and a
Of course, you haven't told the princess this isn't a suitor. That was your mistake here.
lanyard for souvenir pin collecting. Everyone must treat this prince with the utmost respect.
I saw that very prince riding by on his horse earlier.
Oh.
He was being accosted by the same thief we just spoke of.
What?
The street rat threw a whip in his face. He told him that he'd never seen a horse with 2 rear ends. Now, I'm not sure if the thief meant that the prince had a big horsey ass, or a horse ass for a face. Either way, everyone laughed, and the prince was furious.
And the captain seemed to find it also amusing. Well, I guess more concerned about the death of their guards. Makes sense. Okay then. Also, yeah, based on we're using StreamYard, so I can choose. Well, actually, both of us can choose whenever BB's around which messages do show up. Yeah, Disney wasn't able to do park hopper. It was fun nonetheless. All right, fair enough then. You know they do They're called Magic Kingdom for a reason, ultimately speaking.
To go back to the palace and make sure his breakfast with the princess goes well.
But Jafar, isn't she known to sick tigers on visiting princes?
Oh, shit.
Yep, that was his mistake. So maybe this part was his fault after all.
You're right.
I sure hope you haven't goofed this one up, Jafar.
No, I haven't. Why don't you go apprehend the thief? What's his name?
There are whispers. Rumors only. They say he's called...
If time is of the essence, we don't have time to build up this line.
Aladdin. Then we must find this
By the way, am I the only person that gets like a Captain Toad vibe from, you know, the captain here?
one. This Aladdin.
Why does he say that line like that? I never got that.
Tisk, tisk, tisk.
But anyway, if we're talking about perfect casting,
Look at this mess. Dead bodies in the street.
I assume that's meant to be a different dead body, not the... Yeah, okay.
State of this kingdom. There's no place to raise a monkey. Oh. Come on, monkey, don't be scared. Yeah, it's just a dead body.
I've just voiced it
You can
everything,
have
but
fun
yes,
with
you're
them.
right.
Look, you can kick them. You can eat them. Most importantly, you get to loot them. All right. Ah, there it is. Look at that. Hey, that looks enough like you. That'll get
If you're referencing the PG tips that Johnny Vegas hates when people bring that up.
you into the bars. Those guards should have just let me take this bread. Don't they get it? I'm not a
There
bad
you go.
guy. I steal only what I can't afford. And that's everything.
Nope.
One
Was that looked like Lauren was confused about why the dead body was getting up. It's like, huh?
food, but got no money. I'm screwed, or so it would seem. That's why I came up with this brilliant scheme. Just steal everything. All right, monkey, let's feast. Oh, raisins. I hate raisins. Oh, hey, little orphan kids. You guys hungry? You want some?
Oh yeah, if you remember in the actual Aladdin movie, they have like classic like big-eyed orphan kids that I think he gives the bread to. If I remember correctly, I haven't seen the actual Aladdin in like a long time.
We do, sir.
Fetch, you fucks!
Obviously, that's not what happens, but there you go. Also, yeah, well, I guess that loaf of bread wasn't so important to him after all then.
Real, I'm not that picky. I'll steal whatever's in
Not that picky, eh? I don't know, you just tossed away a good loaf of bread because it had raisins.
sight. Don't judge, because you don't understand my plight. Hey, my crutch! Bang that loser. I steal everything.
Bread for sale. Very reasonably priced for these.
The monkey's crow was the more impressive than we can see in the close-up edit. Oh, have you seen this live?
Hard times.
Oh, hey there, friendo.
Not you again. Please, you just stole a loaf of bread from me this morning.
Yeah, you gotta stop putting raisins in it, man. I hate raisins.
Maybe, you know what, headcanon here? He puts raisins in the bread just to decentivize Aladdin from stealing them, but it doesn't work.
I was talking to Monkey about it, and he thinks we
I
should
can see it
just
live,
kill you.
nice. Ooh, that's a lot of teeth.
But I was like, no, Monkey, that's crazy. But now I'm kind of thinking, yeah.
You know what? That actually kind of like might be a little bit of a foreshadowing to his mind state about like, you know, the concept of killing in general. I will say no more about that for now because that's for next week to talk about.
More fucking raisins.
No, please. I'll bring you some more bread tomorrow with no raisins.
Oh, you're the best. I'm gonna tell all my thief friends about you. But you owe me one. Did you know this barbaric country?
Also, he has thief friends. I don't know if that was established.
Only give you money if you work. Thanks, but no thanks, the man. I'll keep stealing all I can instead of being a fascist yuppie jerk.
Well,
Hippie, slacker, sucker, who would seek employment when life offers such enjoyment? Anything I get, I can get for free. Besides, the economy shit, so I make
Honestly, yeah, like the Starkid puppetry, like in general, has always been, you know, accepted, even like back in their earlier days. Yeah, I can appreciate it a lot more now that I've seen like plenty of other examples, you know, like Yellow Jacket and the name of the big creature. Oh, I've got to plug in my computer. It's running out of charge. I got too invested. You see. That's the power of Twisted. Ah, there we go. Ah, okay, you're back. Good. So if I actually run a battery.
Yes, I'm here. Yeah.
Yeah. You missed a fair amount, actually.
God damn it. What I miss?
So essentially, I think you like left before the end of that conversation about like the thieves. I know
a ton of people died.
Yeah, one of the guards like came in and died in the captain's hands. And then right afterwards, they talk about like the fact that there's a new prince that is there, who's coming in to extend like the negotiation deals that they have. The prince being from the land of Pixar, of course. And Jafar had arranged a dinner with the princess that is apparently, I think, supposed to be going on right now. Even though the princess doesn't know this is not one of her many suitors that she six tigers on. Time is of the essence for them. However, we're focusing right now on actually introducing Aladdin. And to be honest, even though we're halfway through the song, you'll still get the gist. Yeah.
Pays for making exits, get chased by a murderous mob. Hey man, still beats getting a job.
Am I right? Oh,
I think that tells you everything.
Early today, aren't we, Aladdin?
You're only in trouble if you get caught.
Aladdin?
Oh, I'm in trouble.
I mean,
After that night we spent together, my belly grows big with child, and my father says that.
honestly, I thought she was going to be like, you know, what is happening? But then I realized, like, oh wait, this is an Office of February. You know, we're not dealing with that level of ineptitude.
You must marry me, or I'll bring dishonor to my entire family.
Whoa. I can't give up on my dreams and settle down just because your dad's being a dick.
I mean, the dad is being a jerk, but also probably not the best way of phrasing it or looking at the situation.
Here's the thing. In modern day, maybe if you said that, there's a little more leniency. Dude, she's super fucked if this kid comes out.
Oh, absolutely.
She's like royally fucked by the law.
Oh, Aladdin, I understand.
I knew you would. You're such a special girl, Jezebel.
Who's Jezebel?
Uh-oh. Busted! Yoink!
Now he's in trouble.
Oh, wow. Douchebag. Hey now, just one question, why, man? 'Cause you stole my daughter's habit.
Also, we've had the longest Jim Povolo line and also the highest note, I think.
That's completely fair, but in my defense, dude, your daughter's hot.
Well, I guess the dad's not so much of a jerk after all, you know?
Man,
sometimes
that is
it works
so unrealistic, but fair, I guess.
Sometimes life just works out, isn't it? That's Aladdin's mentality right now.
Feel that it's my duty to steal, because stealing's an art. I'll steal clothing and shelter.
Also, yes, that is also true. Hymens don't work
God.
like that. That is, yeah, absolutely.
Blast back to that time Aiden asked about the well-known hormones that lie within the genitalia.
I mean, a hymen's a bone, but fair enough. Yeah, we talk about the hormones too. Different, slightly different situation, but somewhat related. Yeah.
We had to tell him that is not where they live.
Was that on a Butter Bunch stream? Or was that on my main channel? Oh yeah,
it was mammed, I think, actually.
Oh, of course, yeah. Like that makes sense because it would be appropriate to bring that up at that point. Yeah.
Yes.
Fair enough. Yeah, we didn't get to meet any characters, you know, sentient pituitary glands. So I guess, you know, couldn't really let the show explain to him.
Whatever I lack, candy from babies, the shirt off your back, credit, identities, thunder, and
A shirt off your back. You didn't wear a shirt.
intellectual property, whatever that means.
I like how you mentioned the shirt thing, but not the credit thing.
Well, intellectual property, we're going to mention as well. He's in the Magic Kingdom right now, stealing intellectual property. Oh my. Fun fact as well, there's a lot of things in here that they actually couldn't like reference or say for legal reasons, but I'll get to those once they become relevant.
This poor little orphan will steal your
This is the prototype of Max Jaegerman.
Also, that is a very scientific answer for this era, because, like, biblically speaking, it was quite as simple as just a punishment. Like, it was a very, very A-B explanation, not so much like, well, you know, they have a certain amount of eggs, and, you know, this much here, and so the idea of them being like, well, maybe the womb moves around a little bit, and it hurts the inside. That's kind of a crazy scientific explanation for this era.
My question would be, if they thought that at that stage, what would happen with like pregnant women? Did they think that the bump would also shift around a little? Anyway,
dude, they were just thinking that kid was having a roller coaster ride.
Yeah. Stephanie, you know, your head has a huge bump on it. Is that the reason that you're telling me that I need to be more present in our relationship?
All right, it's imperative that this prince's visit is a happy one, and who knows, maybe he and the princess will hit it off.
Good luck marrying her.
What are they defining as a womb? Did they know what a womb looks like? Because, like,
I assume so, but I guess they didn't know the organs don't move around as much in that case.
I guess, but a womb is a little larger than an ear, you know?
Well, I mean, I think what they meant was like behind the ear, not necessarily like in the ear itself, or they would have seen it. But yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Prince Amed, Your Excellency!
Is this how your king
I love the way that he actually
located today?
treats its guests, Jafar? Take a look at this. Tell me, what do you see?
Your heart,
This is an amazing vocal performance, by the way, as well, from Joe Walker.
boxer shorts, my liege.
What else?
Your ass cheeks, my lord.
My ass cheeks. They're hanging out.
Yeah, put them
What's
away,
this?
please.
Blood. Blood on my ass cheeks.
Well, we know where his womb is today.
Tell me, Jafar, how the fuck did it get there?
Is it because...
It is because your princess just sicked a Bengal tiger upon my ass. I am lucky that it is so pert and small.
Well, I am grateful for your tiny ass, my lord.
I cannot believe that she thought that she could feed a prince to a Bengal.
Yeah, I love to like the first round of people's like, I know what's coming up, but this is the joys of face cam.
Tiger,
Who is this guy? I don't remember. No one does.
and that there would be no political consequences. This really is an act of war, Jafar.
And this is what they should have addressed in the movie, but they never did. Honestly,
Dude,
they could have done it like a DVD sequel.
I'm sorry, I like how they don't address, like, anything actually realistic and serious about, like, the socio-political, like, conflicts that come with the idea of her being impregnated that early. But you have,
don't care about that.
Yeah, but you injured my ass. This is an act of war because I'm royalty. I like how we explore this though, realistically.
Yeah, but also, I mean, it's mainly because like in the movie they think like, wow, how could they just get away with like chasing off all these princes with Bengal tigers and have no political consequence? But yes, very much true.
And she treated it as if it were a throwaway joke. As if I was
I mean, that is like a core element of the Odyssey, actually.
To illustrate her reluctance to get married. Well, not only am I the ruler of a sovereign nation,
He wasn't even a suitor in the first place, but she didn't know that.
But I have a feeling
The princess just assumes that all men think the same.
it's true. And people who care about me.
You must forgive our princess. She is youthful, but well-meaning.
Do not feed me a shit and call it couscous.
Yes, and war tended to ensue from killing. Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna replay this line because I love it. Wait a second. Here we go.
About me.
You must forgive our princess. She is youthful, but well-meaning.
Not this one.
Do not feed me a shit and call it couscous, Jafar. This is yet
I love couscous. It's delicious.
another insult that your kingdom has heaped upon mine. But you can no longer
Another?
afford such arrogance. Consider your kingdom's greatest export.
I like that every mouth movement Jafar makes, it kind of makes his mouth look like a second mustache.
Acting is reacting. Yeah.
Yes. Toys, exotic fish, trash compacting robots, and other such incredibles. All produced not by your kingdom, but by mine.
Yes, you produce the goods and we distribute them.
You take the credit for them.
No, we share the credit.
Well, perhaps we don't want to share the credit any longer.
That's a fair point. You know, the kingdom of Pixar would have probably done relatively well, if not like exceptionally well, on their own, given like how high, you know, their properties were scoring at the time, you know, with their tropical fish and toys and trash compacting robots and other such incredibles. Even their cars later on, but of course they can't say that because, like, obviously.
I like to say obviously, they just mentioned robots.
Also, I don't think we need any. We don't need any more cats to be sicked on visiting princes. I think there've been enough visiting princes to have like cats sicked on them. I believe we're okay, but thank you for the offer.
It would be very cute though, so long as you're not the prince.
Yeah, and also as long as it's like just an actual, like, you know, a sort of small regular sized cat, and also
No, I mean big cat. Big cats are adorable.
Yes, but when people say cats, they tend to refer to the small cats. That's why I'm thinking, like, okay, at least that wouldn't like cause as much physical damage.
I mean, sure. I'm just saying I wouldn't mind it either way.
Ending our alliance. But now, because of your princess, that is completely out of the question. The next time that I return to this so-called magic kingdom, it will not be with a lanyard or a 2-day park hopping pass, but with an army. Jafar, prepare for war.
No, Ahmed, wait!
No! Nobody makes an ass of Prince Ahmed!
Of course.
Damn that girl! Oh, princess, you've got some splaining to do.
Fun fact, that cat
Wait,
was
no,
never
no,
dead.
you bastard!
I don't know what just happened.
I tried clicking the pause button.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I like how you could tell that, you know, the cheeks in question were plastic. Because, of course, they're not going to have, like, Joe Walker exposed.
Yeah, I was...
Actual, yeah.
That's what I was trying to pause it for. I was going to say, why his cheeks glistening? But then I clicked the start of the musical by accident.
Silly Jafar! All royal cheeks glisten in the sunlight. You would know this if you pay attention to the kingdom of Pixar. Also, fair, that's true. I mean, he had a few steps in between there, you know. He was, in fact, Batman.
Oh.
New here, huge Starkid fan. I read that as new Starkid fan. I was like, wow, this is your intro. But no, okay, fair enough then. Welcome to the stream.
Hi there, Bob.
Mm-hmm. Or Eris. Or both. Maybe it's a fusion.
Not be with.
I imagine it's probably meant to be pronounced Eris Bob, but that doesn't sound as nice. It doesn't roll off the tongue as well as Eris.
I feel like it's
Bob.
a shared account between two people named Eris and Bob.
2-day park hopping pass, but with an army. Jafar, prepare for war.
No, Ahmed, wait!
No! Nobody makes an ass of Prince Ahmed!
There we go.
Damn that girl! Oh, princess, you've got some splaining to do. Oh no. No,
I was
the
going to say
rainbow
that
swans
catfish
have
doesn't
escaped.
exist.
No, I
Nope.
set them free.
But those birds were imported from a foreign land. They can't survive here. The hawks will have them within the hour.
Well, an hour free is better than a lifetime in a cage. Being fed and pampered and cleaned up after. What kind of a life is that?
Sis, when are you going to learn that your actions have consequences? That prince you just
Ah, there we go. We've gone from Disney to Sonic.
sicked a tiger on has threatened our kingdom with war.
Oh, it's not a big deal. He was such a joke. Just like every other swaggering peacock I've met.
But not all of your suitors have deserved a tiger set upon them. What about that first prince? He was a charming fellow.
I once made out with a girl while she was blacked out. That's not charming. That's kind of rapey.
Well,
You know, with everything that's with everything that's happened with the live action remake recently, yeah, that does like an actual quote that would come from why am I blank on her name now? I don't know why we're blank on her name for some reason. I just have Rachel Sogler in my name in my head now. It's like I've got it's gone.
Sleeping
The database
Beauty.
is cleared. Not Sleeping Beauty, but so this is meant to be Snow White. Then again, a lot of them are called Prince Charmings, actually. But if it's talking about the first prince, you know, like when she was like unconscious or blacked out, that could also apply to Snow White here.
what about Prince Eric, the seafaring flautist?
He fucked a fish.
He did not fuck a fish.
He wanted to fuck a fish.
Oh, predator fish fucker! Will anyone ever live up to your impossible standards? You know you're going to have to get married one of these days.
Never. Marriage is a medieval construct
Sure.
that represents the ownership of women. It's like slavery. Grapes!
Of course.
Besides, if I do marry, I want it to be for love.
One of these days, you're going to learn that life isn't about dreams coming true. It's a series of compromises and disappointments. I was hoping.
I love how intrusively modern some of these quotes are, and it just gets sprinkled with bits of like topical realism from the era.
Yeah, some of these concepts are universal, and some of these things that we've got from modern life have evolved from these times. So yeah, kind of like it kind of it makes sense as a match, ultimately speaking.
Kingdom's problems, but now we are worse off than ever, and I've got to find a way to clean up your mess.
But you... Being a princess is so stifling.
I mean, incidentally, this also is a good time to point out that I think if I recall correctly from like what people have said, like I'm pretty sure that Jasmine from the Disney Aladdin movie is supposed to be 16. So this performance actually makes a lot of sense in that context. But also, speaking of the name Jasmine, actually, this is where the first legal thing comes in. I don't think were allowed to use the name Jasmine. So for the entire performance, they just call this character the princess.
This is like in Night Springs in Alan Wake 2, where the DLC it only uses like archetypal names for them. And so because it's like another universe and it's like a previous draft and shit, instead of like Jesse or Beth, it's just the sibling.
You know, it's kind of like the the bazaar that I went to get my carnival costume. You know, the ones that had things like wizard trainee for the Hogwarts robes and red plumber and green plumber, and also I think I think spotted hero, which was Ladybug.
I'm suffocating in this palace.
Maybe princess is her name. Well, where's the come from in that case?
And princess? Now I'm kind of chilly.
Oh, shroud of silk, my lady.
I can't wear this. Did you know they make these things in sweatshops? Where have you been?
Spinning silk in your private sweatshop, mistress.
You actually work in one of those? That's supporting a corrupt system. You're a part of the problem.
Yes, princess.
Am I the only
Again, she's still entranced Ginny from last time.
one who wants more out of life? I just want to be free so badly. You slaves could never understand this feeling.
Yes, princess.
I'm the most
Well, okay. Here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
This is the most people on Twitter today. I don't.
Or Tumblr in 2013. I guess Twitter has become the new Tumblr in some ways. Okay, then.
Yeah, and dying in the process too.
I guess maybe you could say like go back even further to 4chan. Humanity just like picks a social media to infect with just the human condition at some stage. It just happened to be like whichever one is in at the time.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, right? Like,
so in that case, you know what? I hope Twitter continues to exist. I don't want anything else to get corrupted instead.
Yeah. No, I've seen some people say that where it's like, all the normal people are moving over to like Blue Sky. So honestly, let's just let Twitter stay around and it can be like an impact zone that'll just hold in like all the weird shit.
Okay, but how long is it going to take before everyone moves to Blue Sky as well and starts to do the same thing there?
Of course, yes, but I have still seen it. But no, the idea of like, oh, this is most people. The thing is, most of what she's saying, minus the sweatshop comment, I don't. That's like being against people that like work at McDonald's because it's McDonald's. Like, yeah, McDonald's not good, never really has been, but like, the job market's real rough, So minus the sweatshop comment, most of what she's saying is not wrong. The reason it's so goofy is not because of what she's saying, it's because she is then juxtaposing it with being the type of person that she's actively saying that she's against.
Yeah, like it's the mouthpiece that it's coming from. I think this is like ultimately because like you know how like Disney princesses have always got like the desire for more, or at least like they did around this time period. It's because like that's so like unrelatable because like they are princesses. What more could they want usually?
Yeah.
And that's why it's like it's always the mouthpiece that's coming from, let's say, the message itself. Although speaking of songs about more,
girl in the land?
Not a Disney parody without this.
Of course not.
Give a command, but it's just like whatever, 'cause they don't understand. Look at my life from the outside, and sure, I've got servants and tigers and stuff. You're probably...
Oh, that was almost a Servants and Tigers galore line. She's trying not to be Ariel, but, because she's already criticized Ariel for existing, so can't do that. Can't say who's and what's it's galore, can you?
thinking she's got everything.
I agree, Abby, dude. I haven't been on Twitter in so long. Blue Sky is so much nicer.
I haven't been on Blue Sky at all. I might check it out. I have no idea.
I made an account for us, but I never finished setting it up, and so I never sent the login details or anything.
I mean, that's fair. If the Twitter account is anything to go by, it's like the type of stuff that we're gonna post. I feel like, yeah, I'm probably gonna stay away from that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, once I stamp like a description and an icon and shit on there, I'll send the login details. It's just not something I ever got around to.
Okay.
What? It's not enough. I want a life of adventure with no orders I have to obey and dangers galore. Long as I can be sure that I'm safe and secure at the end of the day.
That's not much danger, then, is it?
No, it's a moderate amount of danger. It's controlled danger. It's a theme park, basically. She wants a theme park.
Escape from this palace.
Disney.
For a life where I'll truly be free. I'll go live somewhere new, just as big with a view, and a few dozen servants attending to me. That's
What she sell for a few dozen?
all I'm asking.
This is an I Want song that makes her sound thoroughly intolerable.
Again, I haven't watched Aladdin in many, many years. But I get the impression that Team Starkid, who are like probably the Langs most likely, watched Aladdin again, and this is what they heard when they heard Jasmine's song. Like this is what they translated it to in their head.
I just want everything.
Actually, you know what, chat? Can you tell me like who made the songs for this one? Because I don't think we're in like the Jeff Blim wrote the songs yet, but maybe we are. I'm not sure.
I don't know. This definitely has a different vibe than like the previous stuff we've watched.
Yeah, so probably has changed again. Yeah. Oh, she didn't get a song. Oh, that's right, because like that was one thing they fixed. Well, they fixed in the live action version after this. Yeah. Yeah, because like that was what there's like I won't be speechless. Meanwhile, she like freezes, does that whole thing, and immediately goes back to being speechless again. So it's like, oh, they just kind of tapped it on. Oh well. My ex really loved that song, and then when I actually like watched the review of the live action Aladdin, I was like, oh, that's the context. Wow, that's disappointing. I thought it was gonna be like way more impressive than that. Okay, so AJ Holmes did okay, and Kaylee McMahon. I don't know.
Mahone feels like it's probably it.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I want to live on the moon and eat it in a pie and keep it as a pet and wear.
Oh yeah, this is back when people thought the moon was made of cheese. That was like a common like theory from back in the day, apparently.
What color was
also,
their
don't worry,
cheese?
Don't worry, I know who AJ Holmes is. I don't know Kaylee McMahon's name, but I know AJ Holmes. Like he's also did like some of those for like some of the again what we call the classic.
That one might have been for me. I notoriously have quite poor memory.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Okay, well, yes. So yeah, from Presence, yeah. Like I'm pretty sure, like AJ Holmes did a lot of the songs, like particularly like after Darren Criss was too busy to do so. Like I stepped in for some of Starship, I believe, and then also did Very Potter the senior year. Yeah. Wensleydale Moon Cheese, exactly. Wallace and Gromit, you know, like dissected this at some point. That's why I first heard the theory. It's like, why do people think that? But it's like, oh yeah, if you look at it from a certain point of view, it does look like a piece of cheese.
Yeah, but what color is their cheese? The moon is not cheese colored.
Maybe they were looking through a dirty lens. They had to clean their telescopes.
You mean their eyes? Look up. It doesn't bright. It's not gonna burn your eyes off like the sun does. And there was even less pollution at the time, so it's even less obscure than it is now.
If not cheese, why cheese shaped? There are white cheeses. Wensleydale isn't one of them, but there.
How many cheeses are white?
Actually, Wensleydale is like almost white. It's Welsh.
And also, no, the moon is more like a gray.
People who say I'm just dreaming, like Father and Jafar, we'll see how wrong they are.
Oh yeah, we are subtly building the father a little bit, like because like obviously who's going to give her orders is going to be her father, aka the Sultan in this case, and we also, you know, this line here about, you know, referencing them again as like the two figures are essentially like not one is above her, one of them is like figuratively above her. So yeah.
As I laugh.
No, it is.
So do you have a little bit of build up basically for this character? That's what I was trying to get at.
I forgot about all of these cheeses. I'm not even gonna lie. I've used most of these.
I mean, yeah, would I say that Brie is white? I mean, I guess the outside of it, this like the outside of Brie is white, not the actual cheesy parts. But yeah, fair enough.
No, the Brie's definitely not white. What took me off was mozzarella because I was like mozzarella is still kind of orangish, but then I realized that like the mozzarella that I'm used to is probably still like the big like processed version of all that because I looked up the image and it was pretty light. So.
Yeah. There's a baby upon the sky, Neil Armstrong told me himself. Fair enough.
Has anyone ever tried making a moon? Like obviously we know that the moon is not cheese now, but has anyone ever tried like creating like the food, like the literal concept of the moon as like the food?
Gather around, kiddos, you two can eat rocks today. I don't know. I mean, if Jawbreakers, maybe that was a thing.
A moonbeam pie. I wanna make my own choices. I mean, please, is that so much to ask? But decisions are hard, and I'm being bombarded. Why can't somebody help with this arduous task? The life of a princess is fraught with complication. It's enough to make me wish I were lowly and poor.
Wait for it.
But, like, with money. What I wouldn't
That's not those in my head.
to live in a new situation. Each slave and guard makes life so
I was thinking about bringing up the charcuterie board comment, but I couldn't think of any rebuttal. I was like, surely there's another demographic besides us that are known for their cheese, and then I couldn't think of one, so I just stayed quiet.
Well, I mean, most of the world is lactose intolerance. That kind of like rules out a lot of regions. But yes, let's go think of the thing. Like, I was thinking of the "I'm not white" part. Was the part I was gonna say like, are you mostly Welsh? That was the joke I was gonna make.
always barred from having everything and more.
I will say it is so frustrating because I have to deal with like people that just don't know how biology works a lot of the time, and so we'll
What is
have
this in
like
reference to?
this.
Oh, okay, okay.
And so I always like I don't ever know how to explain this in a way that doesn't sound absurd to someone who doesn't know how genes operate, because it's like they look like this color, but their parents are not necessarily like, I know they look mostly like this, but I don't know that your comment about their race is quite even accurate. You know, it's like there's still
guess it
definitely
depends
the
on,
other
like,
color. It's just not visual.
I was gonna say it depends on like what comment you're making, because you didn't start from the beginning there of like which comments you're specifically referencing here.
No, well, it's just because people don't. I've learned over the last like 2 years that a lot of people don't know how being mixed works. Is what I found out.
I've only actually been asked about it once, actually, by like a group of people that I used to like sit next to in Spanish class. Like they asked because they saw my mum drop me off one time. So they were kind of like confused by that. I was like, oh yeah, well, and then I explained that my situation was even more complicated because I am mixed, but my biological parents do not match up with my adoptive parents.
Sure.
And that's what they saw, so I had to go through that whole ordeal as well. But yeah, in general, yes, being mixed, you know, can mean a variety of things and can manifest in a variety of ways as well.
Yes.
I just happen to align with like the most obvious version.
All right,
Again,
Sure.
adoption aside.
team, we've got to brainstorm. We could be facing war.
Could be. You are in fact facing war. You were directly threatened that was happening.
Team? Hello?
Hey, Jafar.
Captain, where is my team? My assistant
Okay,
viziers, my think
okay,
tanks
here we
that
go,
share my
chaps.
commitment to duty and devotion. Has my whole 2D department gone missing?
Oh, you haven't heard.
Heard what?
Bad news, Jafar. The order's already been carried
Is
out.
this just the bad news guy?
By royal decree of the Sultan and
Essentially.
his executive branch, the entire 2D department is to be disbanded. All 150 of its members are to be sacked.
Gee, I wonder what this could be an allegory for.
We put them in burlap sacks and beat them until they were dead.
Well, okay, not that part, but the rest of it.
But those
Sure.
were men and women of
I'm actually half white, but my white mom never cooked, so I didn't have traditionally white foods until
Name a
my
traditionally
dad's
white
white wife.
food.
Stereotypically white food. Until my dad's white wife made a charcuterie board like 2 years ago, so it's fine. It was a silly joke. No, yeah, sure. No, I just mean like the reason that came to my mind was because I remember like one of my old coworkers made a joke at one point, and one of the like very presently like black people that I was also working with made.
I'm just gonna
respond
stop you
like,
for a second there to say that the fact you said old co-workers are not old classmates at school, referring to the fact they don't know how genes work, is more concerning to me. Okay, continue.
oh no, these are grown adults.
Of course they are. Continue.
I cannot stress enough how dumb I found our the human race to be recently.
And they're expected to read their county numbers when they got tornado warnings in time. Come on, Texas.
But no, we had a very white looking coworker that I was pals with. She made a joke that most white people generally should not be making. And one of my black coworkers came over and was like, hey, and then the coworker was like, actually, my dad is black.
I hate that.
And they're like, what? But you look super white, and it's like, and I'm back here thinking, God damn it.
Well, now
you can't have both. That's how being mixed works. The genes pick a side. They pick one. You're still both.
Yeah, exactly. But also, just in general, I hate that excuse is like, yes, I am certain race, therefore I can make certain race jokes, and it will be fine. I think that's kind of why I guess like Quan Lee stood out to us at Home Musical Batman versus O'Malley, just because of Chris Allen's, I guess, visual ethnicity, I would say.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe Chris Allen is part Chinese. We don't know.
Judging by chat's reaction, I get the feeling that probably wasn't the case. But
yeah,
we
didn't think of the implications, but chat did. So yeah,
Ship just thrown right out the window.
Out of the highest window of the Western Tower.
But how could the Sultan do this?
Don't blame the Sultan, Jafar. This is all your fault. You didn't have the 2D
We're getting close. We're getting close to the quotes.
department producing anything of
Mexican
value.
food rules.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yes, I know.
Well, see ya.
I think our kingdom was once a pioneer of art and culture and technology. How did it come to this? How did it come to this?
And this is where it becomes, the stereotypical Starkid portrayals, basically. Still classic era of, not exactly the highest of budgets in every aspect.
Oh. Wait. It can't be. A necklace.
Good question to everyone in chat. Why was this inside the 2D department room of all places?
I haven't seen this in years.
This is where we kind of like really go into they are like inventing new things rather than just parodying the existing stuff. This moment.
Sands of time, take me back before it all went wrong, when love was but a song and tomorrow shone as brightly as the sun. Teach me to undo what's done.
Yeah, maybe he spent most of his time there, but did she spend? That's the
Sands
convenience
of
as well.
time, take me back.
You can even hear the rewinding.
Sugar dates and figs, sugar dates and pistachios.
I think this is the same like this. It's like the major version of like the the key of like why doesn't something blah 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 from earlier. Like that's why it sounds familiar to the past as
His
well.
accent reminds me. I don't know if you guys probably actually haven't. This feels like an obscure reference. I don't know if you guys have ever listened to Einstein on the Beach. It's an album that it's a weird trip. Most of it consists of just counting, but this guy's accent reminds me of some of the characters that have like actual lines speaking.
Maybe.
But it's done in I say that though because like a lot of it's very deliberately done in the songs and all that. Like you have like one guy talk about like women's rights or whatever. And it's like and done. It's like okay, well. You know
that famous, feminist quote. And done. Okay, then.
I will say it is a long and arguably boring ride if you are not fully prepared for Einstein on the Beach. So I don't necessarily need all of you guys to check out the entire thing, but at least check out like one or two of the songs. I think you'd at least get a kick out of the ride.
Yeah, and make this pie and see if it tastes like moon power. You must join the Sailor Scouts and say Moon Prism Power. Anyway.
Shalom, friends, and praise Allah for this blessed day.
Salam Jafar!
And praise Allah for
You love the
Jafar.
outfit, people.
Today's the day, isn't it? The day the palace finally gets a good and honest man on payroll. Assistant Vizier to the Sultan. Oh, you'll straighten out those crooked politicians. I'm sure of it.
Now, be warm. I'm sure the higher-ups in the palace are doing their very best. They just need someone with strong resolve to keep them on that straight and narrow.
I suppose you're right, Jafar. But how do you do it? How is it that you are so good to everyone you meet?
My secret is simple, really. Anyone can do it. I just follow the golden rule.
Oh, and what rule is that, Jafar?
Why, it's as easy as a 1, 2, 3, 4. Follow the golden
It's
rule.
basically in a
For
face.
life's a two-way street. Keep that in mind, and you'll be kind to everyone you meet. Follow the golden rule. It isn't hard
you recognize
to
this song?
do.
No,
Always treat others like
what I
sisters
think is
and brothers.
interesting, I don't know if it's a coincidence or not, but like hang on here, can I? God damn it doesn't work like that. I'm trying to click the arrow.
You're shaking your head. Yeah, again, she's still possessed. She's like coming off of the of being controlled by Tom Riddle for a year.
Really, anyone can do it. I just follow
Listen
the golden
closely.
rule.
Oh, and what rule is that, Jafar?
Why, it's as easy as a 1, 2, 3, 4. Follow
Sorry.
the golden rule. For life's a two-way street. Keep that in mind, and you'll be kind to everyone you meet. Follow the
That bit, that entire be kind to everyone you meet. That's the bit from that one Christmas song.
That's a very vague statement. That one Christmas song, but I can.
It's one of the classics. Shit. Fuck. Here, I think even Jay Shalai included in his album. But even the string after
honestly,
it's-
as soon as you tell me the song, it will probably click for me. But until that point, I am confused.
shit. God damn it.
Chad, if you know what she's talking about, please let me know. As well.
This is maybe it's a coincidence, but that's
It might have been in the Lang's heads. We don't, that's also possible. All right. While you do that, I'm gonna keep playing.
golden rule. It
Still the
isn't
bells
hard to do. Always treat others like sisters and brothers, and they'll do the same for you. Before you harm your fellow man, ask this question first. How would you wish that he treat you? If your fortunes were reversed, you follow the golden rule. That's how I choose to live. Whoa, simple reciprocity is always my philosophy. I get back what I give.
Some of my favorite lines are definitely, ones of lesser used words in the English language rhyme with each other, like reciprocity and philosophy.
But sir, I'm starving.
Do you know what the penalty is for stealing?
Stop your hand right there, friend. Omar, what's going on here?
This boy has robbed me.
So you take the law into your own hands?
It is my right, Jafar.
But is it right? Before you harm your fellow man, ask this question first. How would you wish that he treated
A holly jolly Christmas.
Okay, all right. I don't recognize like that sting from there, but yes, now I'm thinking about it. Okay, I can see it fitting in quite nicely. I just can't place where exactly it would go.
Fortunes were reversed. Why take this boy's hand when you could just as easily put it to work?
Give him a job, eh?
And you, boy, don't you see that if everyone were to steal from Omar's cart, that he would be the one who was starving?
Imagine if this were Aladdin instead, like if that, like a lot of it would have been resolved. Well, as you know, maybe not Aladdin. He wouldn't listen.
Follow the golden rule. My hunger blinded me and forced me to act like an animal.
Again, underutilized Lauren Lopez.
Not animals. We're gifted with minds to reason and hearts to love. So what do you say?
Have you seen the
Spoken like a true romantic era poet.
Yeah.
Can you two work together?
That might be the era.
Follow the golden rule.
That's very late.
Two-way street.
It's definitely later than the original Aladdin intended to be, but
Well, yeah, well, you said 200 years before like the 1900s. So honestly, that would be like
no,
the
I said a
era.
few hundred years.
Ah, okay, fair enough then.
And you'll be kind to everyone you meet. Follow the golden rule.
Aladdin. If your kids can read, they'll know it isn't. But aside from that, sure.
We have Aladdin at home.
Yeah, depending on like the scenes in this, you might not want to show this to your kids.
They'll do the same for you. They'll do it 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 for you. I think that's about enough fun for one day, huh, friends? I better be off to the palace.
Good luck, Jafar. And remember.
Yeah, remember the thing that you just told us, yeah.
That's how we choose to live. It's very easy.
It's how we choose to live as of 5 seconds ago.
Reciprocity is always our philosophy.
I get back what I give.
We get what we give.
That's it.
I get
That was slightly strange. Okay.
back what I give.
Better. Nice transition.
Oh, excuse me, sir.
Who dares enter the royal palace and disturb the royal vizier as he rests in his royal chambers of the royal palace? You! Who are you?
Oh, me, sir. My name is Jafar, sir.
Yes, the new assistant vizier.
The coffee veteran.
Well, I intend to do a little bit more than that, my friends. And now I know it's my first day, but if you'll spare me some patience, I've prepared a list of reforms that the city is in desperate need of. It's going to take a lot of hard work and a little bit of elbow grease. But I believe that if we just follow the golden rule, that we can all create a whole new world for you.
I mean, whole new world, nice, but also he didn't tell them about the golden rule. He's gonna have to sing the song again for them.
And me. And most importantly, the great people of this kingdom.
He is spitting everywhere right now. And I don't mean spitting as in like the Gen Alpha slang. I mean he is physically spitting on the audience. The scene. I will say, because I was like, okay, what face expression we talk about? Okay, now I see. Absolutely, you agreed that he makes the best expressions here. But yeah, it was delightful, like long time before we actually got round to that. I will say, I think this particular, this feels like a different era of Starkid to me, particularly. Not only just because it's post-Potter, that was like, you know, arbitrary, honestly. I think it's also because the cinematography is so much better. Like, not just the camera quality, but also it's like the general like composition of this, and the fact they've made it into like they've compiled it into like the full performance instead of like releasing them in parts this time. They've noticed like the benefits of doing that. Like, yeah, this is definitely a step up in that regard as well.
Are you finished?
Listen, boy.
Before we get to this song, I'm just gonna give another example of when I did my musical for like end of year at college. They set up 3 separate cameras in the room and were supposed to like edit it together and compile the footage. They never sent it to us, unfortunately, or I would have posted it on my main channel years ago because everyone in the production wanted it to be seen. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't know if I'm ever going to get access to that. I have no idea. But yeah, like, that was the idea. Yeah, like all I have was like the dress rehearsal footage that I filmed. That's not even like the full thing. Like it's not the same. It's like comparing, you know, well, I guess classic Starkid to middle Starkid if we're going by my, you know, separations. Anyway, here is time for the minor reprise.
You speak of a golden rule. We have our own golden rule here. Whoever has the gold makes the rules. What? I follow the golden rule. How can a man resist when the gold...
I will say this is almost like major singing with the minor instrumentals. I'm not sure about this, but also, you know how YouTube videos you can add like chapters to them. I do them for the Dragon Ball what ifs. I've made them. Yes, okay. But yeah, like it's a thing you can actually do, and like it will show up on like the timeline. The way that this shows up is follow the golden rule at first, and then it cuts immediately to this one, which is spelled out: follow the gold and rule. So there's the difference.
in his hand, let him rule the land. Oh, with an iron fist, I follow the golden rule. It's either them or me. The gold that my neighbor earns through his labor is gold I'll never see.
Well, unless you try to find a way to take it from him, but yes. Also, choreography-wise, I will say as well, I mention this like all the time, but the way to show a character having power is actually to have them move less. So if you notice, like from Follow the Golden Rule, there was a lot of choreography, like everyone's like either bobbing their heads, or like they were dancing, they were reversing, they were like, you know, like they were like prancing around in the background, very, very happily, obviously, they're full of energy. But with this one, a few simple motions, basically, you know, we're so composed, we don't need to move too much. We follow the golden rule, you see. Like it has a whole different energy to it. So like that's part of it. Like theatrically speaking, that is also like a practice that's, you know, has been passed down for the ages. So it's good to see here as well.
As Ursula would say, never underestimate the power of body language.
Unfortunately, I underestimate the power of your microphone right now. I didn't hear the rest of that quote.
Oh.
Of body language.
Of your language, of my language, okay.
Wait, no, what is it? What
oh, body language. Sorry, okay. That took me a sec. I heard of my language.
Hold on, is my shit putting me down? Hold on.
No, it's only when you do the Ursula voice. Otherwise it's fine.
Oh, it says reduce. Oh, because I have echo cancellation and reduce background noise. That would do that.
Yeah.
I wonder which one is putting out Ursula, the echo or the background noise.
I don't know, maybe the background.
Prize for winning. And the game begins again. Follow the golden rule. Boy, don't be such a fool. Damn your stupid charity.
Okay, now they're moving a little bit more, but still less than the commoners. It still makes sense.
We chase our own prosperity. We follow the gold, follow the gold, follow the gold.
You know what partly makes it for me is the fact that like whenever they move like their arms or something, they're not usually moving their legs. Like half their body is usually still, except when they're circling around right now. And again, Denise's face expression right there. Another good thing to mention.
Who put you on this bed?
Just keep your mouth shut and your palm open, and you may just get filthy, stinking rich.
By the way, this musical sting in the background, like the dun 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 dun, like that's what I think of sometimes whenever I think of like a villain theme. Actually, it's like my head first thing it goes to is sometimes this.
Come, gentlemen, to the opium den.
Another hint us towards the time period of this.
Oh, what is this palace life?
They all just left their chambers.
That'll teach you to sneer at a
Oh,
nobleman.
my dear girl, what's been done to you?
Somebody cut off my ear because they didn't like my face.
But that's barbaric.
Hey, it's home.
I believe they cut that line out from the film.
Well, worry not, miss. I am a studied healer. I may not be able to save the ear, but I can stay the bleeding. It would help if we kept you talking. You could start by telling me your name.
My name is Sherizad. I suppose this will be the end of me. I'm here only for my beauty, and now that's gone.
Sherizad.
Like I'll just like show a full shot of the obviously still existing ear there.
True beauty lies within, but no scratch could tarnish your heavenly glow.
Your words are like honey, young master.
Jafar, and
It's like, wow, no one's ever told me that. Ah! It just moves around a little bit by accident.
God, that reminds me when I got my ingrown toenail removed, and obviously they numb you and everything for the surgery, and they're like, well, we definitely think we found the problem, and they asked me with a straight face, I mean, do you wanna look at it out of curiosity? And I'm back here with looking as far away as possible. I'm like, maybe after you're outside of my toe. Maybe I don't want to look at it while you're in there.
Yeah, probably not.
I am master to no man or woman. I am a servant to the people, and therefore your servant. Tell me, what is it that you do in the palace?
I entertain nobles with singing and dancing and stories.
Stories? What?
A reference to Sherizad's 1,000 Tales, which is, I think, where they originally found the version they used for Aladdin.
Kind of stories?
Oh, if anything you can imagine.
And Hercules changed it beyond recognition, but yes, that is where it came from.
Of course.
Have you ever heard the tale of the Tiger Head
Classic
Cave?
Disney.
Filled with wonders beyond your wildest dreams, a forbidden treasure, a rug possessed with the soul of a lecherous thief, and perhaps the greatest treasure of them all, a common oil lamp. Oh, but do not be fooled by its commonplace appearance. This is no ordinary lamp. It is the prison of a jinn, a shapeshifter who will grant your every wish. He's also really funny.
Well, there we are. Keep the bandages
I will say, I also like the subtle criticism, actually, within this about Aladdin, which is, like, everything else went pretty on the nose. The fact that they change it from genie to jinn for this is such a subtle, like, piece of criticism. Because it's not really meant to be genie.
Maybe that was another legal thing that they had to go around. If that's one thing that was Disney specific, maybe they couldn't say it.
No, so genie is based on it's like Thor, where it's like we have funky spellings and all that. So genie ended up being just like the name Jesus, actually, even more aptly, a weird game of telephone, and it ended up coming out that way. But no, it's not.
Speaking
meant
of
to be
Jesus, I was
genie.
going to put this comment on the screen about Jesus healing the other ear. Wow. Classic theater.
Yeah, no. Disney did not create the term genie, but it should not have
No,
been the term used.
I meant like if they applied it to the character they're referencing specifically, like if that character became known as the genie precisely because of them, then maybe Starkid couldn't reference that. That's what I'm
There's
saying.
no way Disney has that kind of control because it's based on like a mythological creature.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there is. Yeah, you may be right on that because actually, one thing that Wicked actually didn't get right is that the Wicked Witch of the West wasn't green in the Wizard of Oz novel, which means that the character from Wicked is based on the film character that that they did not have the rights for. so yeah, that's another fun Wicked fact here. Not why this is better. Also, have you two seen other Starkid musicals? Oh
Yes.
boy, have we!
We very much.
Yeah, like we
also some Tim Canbro as well mixed in there.
Yeah, like we have spent nearly every week for the past 1.5 years since like November 2023, I think, going through like a lot of Starkid stuff. We started with Hatchetfield, then we moved on to classic Starkid, and now this is the first time that again I'm referring to as middle Starkid.
Wounds become gangrenous.
By Allah! Are you a sorcerer?
Oh, no. Sorcery is a craft for fools and dreamers. I am a man of science. I believe only in what I can touch and feel. This cave you speak of, I can assure you it doesn't exist.
What is he doing?
Because I apprenticed a geographer.
Oh, you've just
And a geographer would definitely know the entire layout of everything that exists.
never seen it, because the cave remains hidden to all but those who possess the key.
Ah, when you put it that way, of course it makes sense.
Here, look.
Oh, beautiful pendant. A golden scarab, if I'm not mistaken.
Half a scarab, half the key. It is said that the cave was sealed by two lovers who were then transformed into one golden scarab. The cave will only reopen when the two halves become one, and the lovers are united once more.
It's, there's a song that goes along with that. Two lovers kept from one another. A war divides their people.
So you see, you say you only believe what you can touch and feel.
By the way, slight tangent. When I watched like the Netflix Avatar series with my brother, and they referenced that song, I started singing along to it, and he was like, "Why do you know this song?" It's like, why do you think I know this song? Anyway,
Magic does nothing if not touch the soul. And there's no greater feeling than that.
Wise words. Perhaps you're right.
I got the music stops here actually.
Sorry.
And now it kicks in again. Okay, sure, whatever, meet cute and whatever, but actually, if we're talking about like recognizable music tunes, this isn't gonna make sense for BB yet. But think about like the Looking Back song, "Lord Going Far Away" from Annie. It kind of has a similar sting to this actually. Looking back.
Perhaps I have been touched.
Over this. Yeah.
Pardon. Do you know many stories?
Oh, that's why he was asking. You just twisted to introduce this people to Starkid. Okay, we have talked about like our rankings of Starkid stuff. Like this is what we've seen thus far. Well, what they've seen thus far. I've seen more Starkid stuff in the past. Because the way that we started this actually was that I just watched like Starkid casually, like on my own. And then I was like, okay, well, what this make for a good reaction series? But I'm gonna start with Hatchetfield because cinematic universe. BB is really into that, so we'll start from there and then go from that. That's why I used Guiding Light Musicals as the first thing, and then that got a ton of views. So we were like, okay, I guess we're doing all this now. That makes sense.
and then we got good statistics.
Of course, yes. Honestly, like we have like they have like more watch hours on this channel than I do on my main one.
We have milked Starkid fandom dry.
And I have saved a bunch of stuff that I consider their best work until, and honestly now.
I know 1,000 tales to fill 1,000 nights, but now another story comes to mind. A noble young vizier ascends to wondrous heights. He's brilliant and handsome, handsome as his kind. He is at once familiar and unknowable to the frightened girl he meets along the way, and to the girl's surprise, something in his eyes beckons her to know him and inspires her to say, I want to know your story, I want to know your past.
I don't know if you guys are fans of Ranieri on YouTube. She does a bunch of like song covers and makes her own songs as well. In the mix. I don't know if you've ever listened to her, but her music stylizations and the way that she kind of plays with words and such sounds very similar to this actor's singing, actually.
And now the chat's gonna be like, well, actually, Ranieri was actually childhood best friends with Mariah Sathan. It's like,
yeah, so they have very similar singing voices naturally.
Yeah. I mean, it worked for Liz Gears and Ariana Grande to a certain extent, so I don't know. Yeah. Oh, by the way, another thing I was saying about this. Actually, I should rectify a statement. I actually introduced BB and Aiden to Starkid like beforehand, but like on our own, just like, okay, I'll start a group chat. I'll start you off on again. This like got me like a lot of critique at the time. It's like, I'll just like the thing that I consider to be my least favorite of the Starkids. Not because it's bad, but because I was intentionally at that point going by like my perceived levels of quality. So it's like, okay, I'll start with Holy Mystical Batman, and then I will go further forward. I had not seen MAMD at the time. That is my new least favorite. But
it's so good.
Of course, I didn't know that at the time whether you think it would be good or not. And honestly, if I had seen it, I would have thought you would have enjoyed it. So, but yeah,
I don't think you would have known that I would have enjoyed it for the reasons that I do. But yes,
I think I would actually.
Yeah.
Leave out no detail, savor every part. I want to know your story, so make the story last. I want to know which twist and turn. Tell me all I've missed. I've so much to learn.
The irony of this is that obviously this is a prequel, so Jafar's story really starts at this point. We don't really get to hear like how like he got to this stage because it's not relevant to the story that we are hearing, which is of course the real, the real interesting stuff.
For when it comes to stories, I thought I knew them all, but now I'm face to face with one I can't seem to recall.
Of course you can't recall it. It's literally just happening. He just like cuts her off. It's like, hey, wait a minute. I want to sing now. It's a duet now. I'm forcing it.
I've never critiqued Starkid lyrics before. Contents perhaps, but the actual lyrics of them I've never really critiqued.
Oh, it's
until
fine.
Now.
I have extensively. So go ahead.
I think most of their stuff is pretty good. I don't know how I feel about the phrase. Like, I thought I thought I knew like all the stories until now or whatever. I don't know at all that. There's
Only
a lot of
9,000 tales exist.
Right, there's a lot of stories.
Only 1,000 stories. For I, Sherizad, decree it so. But yeah, fair enough. Also, yeah, Gunnet was where we started like officially like, on the channel. This was like several years after Holy Musical Batman, we kind of like dropped it after that. We didn't like continue. Fortunately, because if we had, we wouldn't be doing this series now. So
it should also be noted that whenever Jacob says he introduced us, you know, I believe him, but I don't remember it at all. So
that's true.
What you're,
was like a novel thing, yeah.
Yeah, so what you're getting here really is my first I guess it's technically not my first viewing, but it is from what I can recall. I don't remember anything.
Because we have done a review of Holy Musical Batman. Like again, it was like part of the classic era, so we've already covered that one. But yeah, I get. But it felt appropriately new as a result, which is also comparing like to my experience with like Avatar and with and the Netflix series versus my brother. You know, he's seen, to my knowledge, he has seen the original animated series, but he doesn't remember much of it. Like he doesn't remember Meteor the same way that I do. Of which I'm insanely jealous of that, because it means that like every time he goes back to something, he gets like a new experience from it. It feels brand new to him, and I would love for that to be the case. But you know, ultimately, all it means is that I have a chance to torment him with by withholding spoilers and by quoting lines right before they happen.
Young Vizier had come to help inspire change, but fate had planned an unexpected twist. Within the palace walls, he discovered something strange and found the missing part of him he didn't know he'd missed.
So I face something comical. Yeah, that's right.
At once a comfort and a mystery to the callow man she meets that fateful day. She's beautiful and wise, and something in her eyes beckons him to know her and inspires him to say.
And in true Disney fashion, they just met and are already confessing their love to each other.
I want to know your story. I want to know your past. I want to know your future too. Fill my days and nights with the tale of you. I want to know your story. So make the story.
Oh, good. She gets to sing again. It's like, you cut me off earlier. I'm at least duetting you now.
Hey, she had her one moment where she wasn't silent, okay?
Tell it till I know every bit by heart. I never cared for stories until you entered mine. But now my only wish is that our plots may intertwine.
I guess that's why he likes books so much now, actually.
But I forget what happens next.
I'm not sure I understand.
You don't recall this part either, given that you've just met him.
Remind me how she answers when he asks her for her hand.
And this is before Frozen.
Took you long enough.
1,001 nights with you is not enough to spend. So let's make ours a story with no end. So let's make ours a story with
This is a super doomed romance, by the way. They hurried up to this point. It's way too quick. We're in Act 1. This isn't gonna end well. I just want everyone to know that before everything goes to shit that I call it.
I mean, honestly, when I watched this for the first time, there was a specific point where I was like, okay, in this interaction that they're having right now, I know exactly where this is going to go. And I know that's why, you know, that's why we don't see much of her in the present day.
Honey, I'm home! Ah, damn that royal vizier! The common man is starving and he feeds.
Oh, we're saying that's 3 years as 1,001 nights. That's all. That's fair. If they spent 1,001 nights getting to know each other before he asked if he proposed, that would have at least been a decent time. But anyway. But yeah, make a promise vows never get married. Yeah, only if you date the person for only 3 years before you marry. I'm kidding. Honestly, you can make that like a. You know, some people like have like instead of like wedding dance, they have like a wedding like duet of some kind. That's like they do that sometimes. You could do that, or maybe like have this song be the thing that scores like your entry or something. or the bride's entry. I don't know which way around that would be. I have no idea. Because you don't have to use like the same like marriage themes you do all the time. I've been to a few weddings. I don't always do that.
It's like a self-styled god. My land reform bill will never pass.
They refused
Hey,
you
man.
again.
It's never too late to divorce and then remarry, but with better vows.
Or a better option is to renew the vows. This is a common thing that happens. I don't know, I guess Eris grab Bob, or Bob grab Eris, whoever's speaking right now. I guess maybe you have that conversation like, hey, let's do a vow renewal. We sing to each other. That could be fun. I don't know.
Yeah, but wouldn't you like to go through the whole marriage process a second time? That's notoriously not stressful.
My boyfriend can't sing. That sounds like a him problem.
So corrupt, incompetent old men. Their mouths aren't fit to hold a donkey's shit. If I could just speak with a sultan, if for a minute I could have his ear.
Oh, by the way, it'd be funny time skip for a second. Just
As that nobleman took my ear.
Sherizad, you jest.
I'm only joking, Jafar. Now that I have you smiling, I think I'll give you a gift.
I mean, he was smiling for a second and then immediately went back to not, but yeah.
Gift for me? What is it? Oh, what a handsome bird.
It's wearing a bib. That means it's a baby this time.
That is.
That's how you don't have to make a second puppet.
Handsome bird.
Oh, it speaks our words.
Ooh, I have
What, if
a
you're going to
theater
write the time warp?
story.
Hold on. The Time Warp is a song. What are you talking about? that works as well. Do one like slow and wholesome one, this, and then do the then like break into the time warp. You know how like you know how in most musicals they have like I'm singing very softly and I'm doing this and blah blah blah. This is only the beginning of the song. 5, 6, 7, 8. I can basically do that. Why not?
Sure. No, so back in middle school, we did the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, which I've mentioned that before. But what I maybe mentioned, I don't think I have though, was that as is known, the headless horseman must therefore have a horse, and so the original plan was, because it was middle school and we didn't have any budget, of course, it was the idea. Our theater teacher went to the store to get a little doll, and we were gonna like put the doll and kind of like make a makeshift horse. So as it turns out, it was going to be Elmo originally, but he couldn't find any Elmos. And upon us asking why it was any Elmo, he said because he burned his entire home and family, so it was revenge. But he couldn't find one, so instead he found this one like small like cow plush, and so in like one of the ways we made the horse, we like carved out like the cow's eyes because it was good for a horse, and I'm sure that's where
that was the deal breaker, right? Cows and horses famously differ in the eyes and nothing else.
Well, no, we were gonna take off the eyes and then put that on the horse. And maybe not better, but the person who was doing the design was, I guess, felt bad, and so with their magnificent sewing work, closed the eyelids back together. Not the eyes, might I add. The eyes we use, but we sewed the lids back. Named it Beef, and then put it in our theater teacher's room, and that was the mascot.
So
for the years following.
So one of the musicals we haven't watched yet is Trail to Oregon, but I just want the chat to know that I'm thinking of the ox from based on what BB just described. I think they'll get that.
The marketplace.
Also, Our Wedding What Was the Phantom of the Opera. I don't know how romantic that one is if you like break it down, but if it worked, it worked, I guess. Okay.
And I knew he would delight you.
Oh, what else does he say?
Anything you teach him.
Donkey shit.
Oh!
Very well. Pneumono ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis.
Those harsh words are mine, aren't they? You clever girl, always finding new ways to keep...
Okay, everything is on the list. The list is, if Starkid made it, we will review it eventually. It's just very far down. In fact, depending on when Firebreaker came out versus Trail to Oregon, it might be the last thing on the list, actually.
Be honest.
It'll be good for us to have something to love
Grand
and care
finale.
for. It can be practice for us.
What are you saying? Have all of
Again, fantastic camera work.
our attempts finally bore fruit, even when the doctor said it could not be so? Oh, praise Allah, the merciful and compassionate!
Assistant Vizier Jafar, news from the palace. Your request for a hearing with the Sultan has been granted. You are to report to the palace immediately.
Did you hear that, my darling?
Whether that's a new captain or if it's the same captain but as a child.
My land reform bill...
We already
We
watched
have
all
watched
this.
Hatchet. Remember, I said this before, we started by reviewing Hatchetfield. We have covered, I believe, all of Hatchetfield that we had access to. So,
Yes.
yeah, don't worry.
Being heard by the Sultan on this...
Including the season 3 that never released.
Yes, and Hey Alice, I think, was also separate. And Working Boys.
Of all days!
We are blessed, Jafar.
Come with...
I missed it. Don't, but I mean, we have the
We are.
VODs.
This isn't Twitch. They don't just get deleted. We have them. Go watch them.
Yeah. That is a setting on YouTube, by the way, that by default streams are set to be private or unlisted once they've finished.
That's still better than Twitch. At least you can go back and like change that. Twitch, it just deletes the VODs.
That's true after like 15 days.
Yeah. Or automatically if you don't set up that archive.
Yeah, which reminds me, I need to check to make sure it's been 15 days since I last watched My Little Pony, because I don't know if I have that file. I'll do that after this.
me to the palace, and let us never be parted again. 1,001 lifetimes is not enough to spend, so let's make ours a story with no end. So let's make ours a story with no end.
You gotta teach your boyfriend to harmonize. Made that work.
Behold! Behold! The representative of Allah on earth.
I like how he's doing this announcement to no one except Jafar and Sherizad.
Father of the country. Shepherd of the people. Sovereign of the land. He of the two ladies. Behold!
He of the wait, hold on. What is the two what chat? What was that? Was that same fade there? I heard two ladies and two legs.
I heard two ladies.
Cyrus, Imperator, the divine ruler. Behold!
Wait,
If I were the Sultan, I would get. If I were the
did he
Sultan, I would get
say-
so bored of hearing this the whole time. If I were Joe Walker, I would do this every single time, no question.
Did he say Osiris for a second there?
Yes.
That's the wrong mythology. That's
Yes.
Egyptian.
Maybe they appropriated it from a neighboring country. Classic Magic Kingdom, am I right?
The royal Sultan.
And of course, Jafar enters there just to confuse people for a second. Here we go. This is the Sultan. And it was at this point, with this setup, that I guessed how this scene was going to play out in the end. But I won't say for right now.
Hi, Saint Nick.
Sherizad, they say he has a golden tongue. I never thought I'd see this day.
What do you think he'll say to us? What wisdom
I don't know. He'll say, "Stop talking amongst yourselves and pay attention to me, the Sultan."
will he impart?
Silence!
Yeah, exactly.
The Sultan shall now speak in his holy voice.
Many years ago, I took my finger and I pushed in my penis. And it has
He did the Trump thing.
There you go. Who needs gender reassignment surgery? Am I right, BB?
You're so right.
Get in there.
Put in some elbow grease.
Yeah. Don't put your actual elbow in, just use the finger.
I will now hear from the court.
Okay, so the court is here, aside from just Jafar.
A very wise and
Well, I mean, sure. All I'm saying, though, is, like, if you're saying this guy represents... Oh, you can't say he represents Allah and then say he represents Osiris. Those aren't even in the same mythology.
If I remember correctly, that the kingdom that Aladdin is from is named Agrabah in the movie, which I believe is a fictional name. Which, by the way, is probably a good way to not offend anyone. Just invent a place. That's also what I do some of the time. That's why I deal in allegories. It's like, well, you know, someone is going to be like, oh, you got this wrong, even if I have researched something. It's like, oh yeah, well, where I can, let's put in some you know, some universal stuff. But yeah, that's just me.
Oh, my lord. We can all learn a lesson from it, I expect.
We can all learn something from it. This is very much true.
Where's my opium?
In the opium den, which exists, we know this in the palace.
Let's have wine, sweetmeats, and cheeses.
At once, my lord. And now my lowly and unworthy assistant Vizier will present some issue or other for your holy consideration. Speak now, Jafar, and don't fuck it up.
Greetings, Your Highness. It is I, Jafar. I humbly prostrate myself to you and offer up this bill of land reform. It is essential to our way of life.
He's not even like showing the bill of land right now. Has he got anything in his hand?
Who are you?
Oh, me, sir, I'm Jafar, as I said, sir.
Not you, you jabbering ape.
Oh, this is my wife.
It is an honor to be in your presence, great Sultan.
Yeah. She's my wife now.
I called it. The first time I saw this, I called it. It's like, there has to be a reason that she would go to the palace in this scene. They were talking like, oh, let's never be parted again. We're going to be so happy and in love. It's like, there had to be an explanation for why she wasn't around. And this is it.
I must have her for my harem.
What?
She makes my withered loins feel life again.
Very good, my lord. She will be yours at
The
once.
fucking sound
My
effects.
wife-
Yeah. Well, I get that's the result of inversion right there. It's just popping out again.
Damn it!
Do you speak against your sultan? Against your king? On your knees, boy. What?
No.
What?
No.
Jafar!
This woman will be bathed and shaved and brought to your harem at once, my lord.
Sherizad! No!
By the way, if this were a oh wait, never mind. I'm not gonna say
I can't let this happen.
Yeah, but first, push her to the floor so that they may have one courteous last goodbye, as is tradition.
He's stealing you from me. He's a thief. I won't let you go.
But you must, Jafar.
This is why he hates thieves.
The Sultan wishes it, and It is our purpose to serve him.
Well, maybe I have a new purpose now.
The city needs you. You are going to be a great vizier someday. That is what your story is about.
Oh, I wish
The Sultan just completely forgot about the bill, by the
I
way.
had the power to...
I love how there's fucking Jasmine who's just back here yapping about nothing. Then you have her who actually has to deal with, like, you know, mildly realistic problems that women had to face, even in the position of power.
Stop wishing it, Jafar.
I don't think she really has a position of power,
Take
really.
this.
Pendant?
You remember the two lovers.
The key to the Tiger Head Cave?
We will be reunited one day and unlock wonders beyond your wildest dreams.
And now we're back in the present day.
First I lost her to the Sultan. Then I lost her to heaven. I thought that if I just did my duty, I could get her back. Now I am Royal Vizier. And
Duty and
powerless
devotion.
to save her
You missed
or
one of the
our
Ds.
city. Unless the cave, the lamp of the wish-granting djinn. If I believed in wishes, as silly as it seems, I'd find that hidden cave, turn back the sands of time, and save you.
I think this is the moment that Jafar like actually gives into like the system he's against, because like obviously like the whole dream a little harder thing, like that mentality. He's now like, okay, I have run out of options, but now for once, hope has presented itself to me again. It's something that she at least believed in, so maybe I shall believe for once. Yeah.
If I believed in dreams, if I believed in magic, if I believed in good, I'd be the best vizier. I'd make our troubles disappear. If I believed I could.
So is Jafar in this musical just a better version of like what Disney made in Wish?
I deliberately have not seen Wish, so I have no idea.
But wishes are dreams, and dreams are pretend. So science and reason win out in the end. Science says you're dead and gone forever. Reason says I'm talking to the air.
Okay, minor thing here. Science, one camera. Reason, the other camera. The two things that dominate his mind on both sides of him. Again, love the cinematography.
But something in my heart, some secret hidden part, illogically insists that you are there somewhere.
You know, if I could, if I put myself into BB shoes right now, I would be saying, oh yeah, this is definitely an allegory for faith of some kind. You know, the thing. But when people are desperate enough, they want to believe in something, and so they manifest it in whichever way they can to give themselves hope. Even though he already believes in Allah, so he already has a faith.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know how much of an allegory it is. It's just what's happening, but yes.
Believe in wishes. If I can find the key, perhaps it's not too late.
Although I think the implication is the idea of like, if I believed in good, I think the idea is that in between his like the past and now, he kind of lost a little bit of that faith, and now he's kind of trying to go back. Now you have the lamp, but
yeah, this specific version of faith, he definitely does not abide. That never had before. But yes, faith in general probably was lost. We don't necessarily know if that is indeed the case or not. But you know, he did reference Allah a lot more in the prequel, so not the prequel, in the flashback. So yeah, probably. Also,
what is a flashback but a prequel?
What is a prequel if not an extended flashback with nothing to cut to? Yeah. Although actually, this actually is giving me flashbacks to.
Oh, you're having your own prequel.
Well, if anything, it came out after us, but we watched it on the channel first. So Black Friday, particularly, remember the part where like I freaked out because I was waiting for like 2 specific words, and then you talked over it. So it's like, no, rewind, we're going back to it. Yeah. The context, that was Tom's song in the middle of the well, actually not the middle, towards the end, where he like finally realizes, like, he says to himself, like, you know, where's Tim? And then it goes back into Flashbang James, a reprise after the verse bits. It's like, yeah, like that part there is like he suddenly realized like he's lost sight of exactly what he was aiming for. It's kind of the opposite situation where Jafar like knows, you know, like the importance of these things that he is like trying to like impart on the people. Tom, on the other hand, completely lost his way in delusions and had to come back to reality. So it's all like mirrors of each other, portrayed by the same actor, fittingly enough.
'Cause after all, I must be pretty great. If you believe
Pretty people never have to try. Yeah, there we go. If I fail you, I've got the name of the song.
Jafar!
What is it, Captain? Can't you see I'm busy?
Bad news. It's the princess. We've checked everywhere, but she's nowhere to be found. It appears she's run away.
All her talk of freedom, I should have seen this coming.
I agree. This is all your fault, Jafar.
There we go. Finally. Now you know why I've been saying that for the past 2 years.
Well, don't just stand there. Go out and find her. Leave no stone unturned. I have an errand I must.
I mean, you live in the desert. Sand is stone, so good luck with that.
Attend to. Oh, princess, you poor naive girl. I only hope you haven't fallen prey to some sex-crazed ruffian.
That's very specific.
I hate sand. It's coarse and rough, and it gets everywhere.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, Aladdin's in this.
I want to thank you again for saving me back at the marketplace. I can't believe that man wanted to reprimand me just for taking some of his apples.
Yeah, those merchants are real dicks about that kind of stuff. It's like, is he really gonna eat all those apples? And you know the ones he doesn't eat? He's trying to sell for money. So greedy.
But you're so generous.
I mean, I guess she doesn't reference the fact that she said, I want to be poor but with money, but okay.
Sticking your neck out for a girl you just met while expecting absolutely nothing in return.
This is before the term simp, plagued the internet.
And then insisting that I stay with you tonight.
No problem. I do it all the time.
We do know this from the earlier song. Poor not Jezebel, whatever her actual name was.
God, the fucking Jasmine's perception of reality is so fucking skewed. Every line she has,
she's the princess.
Every fucking line is just the dumbest shit, and she fully believes it.
Wow, you live here?
Well, I'm squatting here.
It's beautiful.
That line comes back later.
Yeah, it's kind of a mess right now. It's hard to keep a big place like this clean.
Well, don't you have someone to clean it for you, like a slave?
Well, I got this monkey, but he only cleans his side of the room, leaves the shower curtain open all the time, and he hasn't even
You have a shower curtain?
started work on her screenplay. Unbelievable.
This is so unfair. Poor people need slaves just as much as rich people do.
Technically, not incorrect. The answer is neither of them need them at all. So if you're talking about equal measure, that's not inaccurate. She's so close to getting it. She is right by technicality.
God, this girl's so fucking stupid.
I do love they wrote her like an actual 16-year-old who'd be in this situation.
No! 16-year-olds are not this fucking dumb.
most 16-year-olds aren't repressed princesses that have lived like with everything and more their entire lives. That's the difference.
Yes.
And you know what the really sad part is? The people in power are doing absolutely nothing to change that.
Hello, person in power.
Change scares old people.
Yeah. Grown-ups just don't get it, you know? It's like, you're 16.
There you go, confirmed. So you're 16.
What age are you gonna say you are? 50 or some shit.
Hold on.
Wow. I'm only 33.
God damn it.
I think I've seen it all, but I forget how young I am sometimes.
I love.
By modern standards, I guess it's like like you would live like twice that length, ideally, if nothing happens to you. But by this point, yeah, this time period, no.
How raw this conversation is. You are so
Yeah, he's wait, hold on.
mature. And
I thought I was gonna say so deep, but yeah, again, 16-year-olds, let's have a deep conversation. It's like the I'm 14, this is deep forum, basically. You've been waiting quite a while for this. Well, wait no longer.
deep. Of course, it's a free thinker like you who's struggling to get by. And all because of our totally corrupt class system.
I hate the class system. That's why I said, fuck it, I'm never going to school again.
So, you abandoned everything to be free?
I mean, school isn't everything as much as they tell you it is, but sure.
It is funny because it's clearly not the case in this version of the musical, but like in the original Aladdin, her like complaint about the class system in relation to Aladdin would actually be correct.
Can I just? I get what you're saying. I'm
so
distracted.
skewed.
I get what you're saying. I'm distracted by the face that we have paused on.
Wait, oh god damn it, wait. God, we can't get back there. I was gonna say who me with no slaves.
Someone can make meme text out of that.
Me? Yeah. But I was kind of forced into it. I had to grow up fast. My life has just been so hard.
Okay,
I
fair
know
enough.
you think I'm this perfect guy, but there's something I have to confess. I only hope it doesn't make you like me any less. I've got this tragic backstory that's driven other girls away, but I feel like I can trust you. You won't judge me for what I say.
Probably not true.
Did not. Yeah, I reckon the story did not like drive that many girls away. I mean, if I know anything, is that girls like an edgy backstory when one exists.
The others couldn't handle it, 'cause my story's just too sad.
Classic Jeff Blim.
But here I go.
Oh my god, I just realized something.
What?
She sicked a tiger after one of the suitors for being a predator, and now she's actively falling for a predator.
Ah, well, what was it? Well, I guess Jafar was proven wrong. A predator did, in fact, live up to impossible standards. I mean, he hasn't done anything with fish that we know of, but yeah, well, one out of two isn't bad.
I have no mom or dad. They died.
Yeah, you're in your 30s, man.
No, there's no mom and pop.
Now I'm an orphan.
Brother, you're in your 30s.
Will support me, give me a place.
I mean, see, there's something that I wonder actually. I've been recently watching Through and Beyond Journey's End on Netflix, and one of the lines that one of the characters says at one point was that was that he was an orphan. The character's an adult at this point, but says he was an orphan. So what I'm thinking about that is like, yeah, I never thought about it this way, but actually, like what is the actual qualification of being an orphan? Do you have to be underage to be qualified as an orphan, or does you have to like have dead parents to be called an orphan for the rest of your life? And I think I watched that episode literally yesterday, so I haven't looked it up or anything.
To stay? Tell me.
By definition, it says a child whose parents are dead.
Okay, there we go then. So I guess yeah, he would not be an orphan
No
then.
matter what, they were really bad parents.
Oh, and
How's
this
a
year,
33-year-old kid supposed to know how to survive on his own? I have no idea what it's been like. I had no one to bake my bread, no one to make my bed, no one to teach me the difference between right and wrong.
Which explains a lot.
Or to sing me a song. I long to be as strong as I used to be, but I was orphaned at 33.
Aladdin, I am so sorry. I didn't know.
I've got no
Well, you just met him,
one to
so.
hold me tight, no one to kiss me goodnight, no one to press up against me and say.
Yeah, this is definitely a Barney Stinson type of move. Basically, this wouldn't scare anyone away.
It'll all be okay, but hey, that's just the way life is for me.
You're so gross.
Since I was orphaned at 33.
Oh, fuck you. No one gives a shit.
They call me a jerk off, a burnout punk, but I can't let that junk in my head. I could have been a contender.
Maybe let some of it in your head.
That my parents are dead. All things considered,
He says
I think I
pineapple.
turned out pretty good.
Well, maybe
I
you have a
definitely think it's
character
like-
arc.
This is different. Yeah,
Myself
he has monkey. All right, fair enough. Yeah, he has monkey.
up,
I think that makes up for it, actually.
Yeah.
Stealing all I could. Still, there's no one to love me now. But I'll make it through somehow. Despite being so sadly and crushingly all alone.
For a 30-year-old man, by the way, he's kind of buff.
Oh, yeah.
I guess he's buff in general, let's be honest, but like for 30s, you know, this is usually
This
whenever
is-
people
this
start
is
to let
another-
themselves go a little.
This is another example, by the way, of of a reason that Aiden should be here.
Of my own, I'll break the chain.
Already abandoned one shot. That's true. Yeah.
I'm gonna live forever. So they'll never
Yep. Show off those
know
muscles, of course.
the pain of being orphaned at 33.
Don't look at me like that.
By the way, they love doing like the thing of like, you know, pausing before they finish a line effectively this time, you know, in this one. He's actually 29 here. Yeah, it didn't you know, that would have actually worked for the rhyme scheme, wouldn't it? Well, I mean, they just have to change it around. So no one has to know this tragic tale of mine, how I was orphaned at 29. It still works. Yeah, they just had to tweak it around a little bit. Yeah, there you go. I mean, based on the line about, you know, about the it'll all be okay, clearly Aladdin likes chests as well, just of a different kind.
Do you believe in love at first sight?
Well, this
Boobs
is a
are
Disney
pretty
parody, so
hot.
yes. That was the part that you called him a creep for. I was like, is he one of the things you're not into? Okay.
I mean, in general, not fucking Jasmine's. Don't do that to me.
No, because he was referencing like anyone at that time, not Jasmine specifically. Or the princess, I mean.
Experienced it many, many times.
Oh, Aladdin!
There you are.
They're after me!
They're after you?
There she is, guys. Get her right there.
Got him!
Come
Like how he backed into them. That was a bad idea.
Princess, I'm so glad we found you before this criminal was able to...
Give me
High five. High five me, princess.
my first kiss, and you. No high five.
But yes, high five though. Probably was yeah, probably.
And you ruined it. Now, let him go.
I cannot. This man must face trial for his crimes.
But that is not fair. He's a victim of circumstance.
I like how she has to stand on. Oh, she's standing on a soapbox, kind of.
Victim? Tell that to Bafool's twin brother Abdul. He was the victim.
Well, I mean, as well as the other guards that literally, choked in feces, but yes.
Unlike Aladdin, he
Abdul
probably
escapes.
had a family who loved him.
Yes.
exactly.
Best combination there.
This man must face the due punishment
see why
for
they kept
all
him around.
murdering thieves. Beheading.
I mean, he didn't murder them directly, did he? If anything, the guard did more damage, like the one they said before. The quote-unquote fat guard killed someone before.
Don't look at me like that. These are my orders from Jafar. This is all his fault.
I don't know if Jafar actually said kill him, but alright.
Jafar is a monster! Oh,
Where is she going? Okay.
You are
A guy
late.
with no ears, possibly.
1,000 apologies, oh patient one.
You haven't.
Yeah, again, people who have seen the movie know what this voice is referencing.
Then.
I had to slit a few throats, but I got it.
Oh, yes. Yes, the other half of the golden scarab. Now I can finally find the entrance to the tiger head cave. Wait, what? You slit people's throats? I didn't tell you to kill anyone. This is awful.
Jafar, no, that is just an expression.
What?
Yeah, means I got a killer deal at the marketplace. Slit throat killer deal.
Oh, don't.
Yeah, slash prices.
Oh,
of
so,
course.
so you bought it off a merchant then?
Yeah. A real shrewd businessman, too. But I was not intimidated. No. I walked right into his shop. And I fucked his puppy.
What?
Jafar! That is another common expression. It means that I put that merchant in his place as if he were a defenseless little puppy.
To be fair, in this
And
language,
he
to be
did
fair, in
too.
the language they would be speaking, isn't guttural noises pretty common?
Does that do have any humanity? Have you seen Hot Fuzz, by the way? There was a particular point where, the main character's a police officer, and one person comes up and I'm a slasher and I must be stopped. Wait, what? I'm a slasher of prices.
Yes.
Anyway.
I was like, I've never been able to make the guttural noise that you have to use to do certain languages.
Oh, okay. All right.
Colorful expressions in the marketplace these days.
You know, Jafar, you need
God,
to
that reminds me of SpongeBob, where he starts cussing out Mr. Krabs during the episode where Mr. Krabs is after Mrs. Puff, and SpongeBob is just having a crash out, and it cuts to Mrs. Puff going, "I had no idea SpongeBob had such colorful language."
I don't recall this. I've got to watch that episode again.
not take everything so serious, man.
Well, I beg your pardon. You've done
I mean, seriously, that was...
an excellent job. Here is your payment.
Thank you. It went
It's
great
definitely an empty bag.
until that merchant realized how bad I screwed him on the price. Man, did he ever chop my dick off.
Rule of threes dictates where this is going to go. I also called this.
It's off your dick off. That's so good.
What the fuck are you laughing at?
What?
You think that's funny, Jafar? Maybe you'd like to have a look at what my dick is. Oh, asshole.
Well. If Jafar has one flaw in this, is that sometimes he says things he shouldn't, and he doesn't say things that he should.
A kingdom to save and a lamp to find. The Tigerhead Cave is said to be a treacherous place. But no matter, I know just the able-bodied soul I can risk in good conscience.
So let me get this straight. You busted me out of jail so I could go to a cave filled with mountains of gold, and the only thing you want is a crummy old lamp?
Precisely. The rest of the treasure is yours, but the lamp is mine.
I love you, man! Because I would have so much gold, I could swim through it. Like a pool.
That counts as a Disney reference.
I think people can really do that.
No, they can't, actually. It's been scientifically tested.
No. Have all that money, you can finally leave your life of crime behind. Run away and never return.
I'm totally gonna do that. I just gotta do this one thing first.
What thing would that be?
Well...
Did he just steal something from... Did I just hear him snag something off of Jafar's, like, shoulder or something?
Not that I recall.
What?
Yeah.
By the way, I just realized, speaking of Jafar's shoulders, there's no Iago. Wait, no, there is, yeah, it's kind of Iago with the parrot. Fine, never mind.
She's got these eyes, the chest, and her butt. Wow, and her toddies. Oh.
Her toddies.
Yeah, they have some interesting, like, it's not the only time they say toddies instead of, like, this happens a lot from this time. I don't know why. I never heard it anywhere else aside from Starkid performances. But this is only the beginning, I guess.
She's just so
beautiful,
fuckable. But she's the princess. To even stand a chance, I'd have to have enough money to, like, hire an army of assassins to kill the royal vizier and all the palace guards.
Yeah, you don't want to say that in front of the royal vizier.
Then I can sneak in and, you know, pork her. 'Cause, dude, once I get my mind set on a chick, I just can't move on until I get this nut out.
Yeah, except for if she happens to get pregnant, in which case I guess technically at that point he already has. So yeah, fair enough.
Well, first you must escape the Tigerhead Cave with your life. Then you can get your nut out.
I think this performance has like the most isolated, amazing out of context lines out of Starkid performances. Not to say that the other ones don't have a plethora, but this one has the most, I think.
Jafar is so happy about it.
I don't think this is not the face of happiness, BB.
What a jolly expression.
Mm-hmm. A holly jolly one, dare I say.
Nice. So where is this place anyway?
I don't know. Yet.
What?
You probably should have tested this out first, but okay.
Oh, it worked! It worked! Follow that trail!
Nice effects covering that up.
Aladdin is on the way.
Yep.
I'll be treated like a hero. All the citizens adore. They'll throw a parade in my honor with peacocks and monkeys galore.
This is probably the only song I think where they was potentially could have been cut and not much would have been different. Aside from the fact this is meant to cover up the time in which Aladdin is in the cave, and therefore they needed something here. But this is the one that feels unnecessary compared to all of the others.
People will cheer for the royal vizier.
It's not even that long. That's why I kind of like my impression.
Answering duty's call. Not that I care for glory. I just want a story with a happy ending.
Oh, well.
You've done it again, Jacob.
I've done it again, yep.
I can't wait to be a rich dude, because I've heard it told that stealing is so much easier when you've already got tons of gold. but I got my
All the golden rules.
eye on what money can't buy. 'Cause that princess is ooh hella tight. I'll be the one who plunders her cave of wonders. Get a happy ending tonight.
Tonight. Maybe
He
tomorrow.
pointed at his own dick. I can't stand him. I
Of
can't
course
stand
you
either
can.
of them. God damn it. They're both so insufferable. One is so unimaginably stupid, and the other one is just a monster. And
They
it doesn't
deserve
help
each
that
other.
both of them have immaculate voices.
They deserve each other, I guess, in that regard.
No, even dumb people don't deserve fucking sexual predators.
Okay, fair. All right, that's a good point.
Please, darling, don't be dead. It puts a damper on our love if you don't have a head. I wish that you could fly away, escape somehow and soar, and take me to a world where we'll have everything and more.
I do like that callback though.
Oh, there it is! The entrance to the Tiger Head Cave! Go on! And one day the genie will say to me,
Oh, they do say genie. Okay, never mind. I take back what I said earlier.
Jafar, you're a man of such virtue. I hate to see how your loneliness and your memories hurt you. Shouldn't a man who's so noble and whose influence is so global have someone by his side?
Wait, his influence is global? The Royal Vizier has global influence? He kind of like manages his own kingdom because he's so like caught up in stuff. What do you mean?
I know what you're wishing.
That's a kill for any of us who love of the Aladdin character. They did that in the I Still Everything song. They already had that covered.
So
Although again, if they wanted to like not make us not love the character, they shouldn't have cast Jeff Blim in the role.
I already don't love the character, I can tell you. It doesn't matter how pretty that guy is.
I'm not saying because he's pretty, I'm saying because he's Jeff Blim. There's a difference. They go hand in hand, but you know, the Jeff Blim part for me is the important bit. Yep, just that's one thing I remember from my wife. Her severed ear. The editing really
and
tells
with
how
my
they
wife beside me, my failures will be absolved.
will they? You'll just have your wife back. Nothing else will have changed.
The world will be a paradise with all its problems solved. We'll retire to some far-off place and share an itty-bitty living space.
Oh, that comes back as well. But which lyric was? Oh, there we go. Mission like to bring back. Okay, yeah, fair enough. And that was also one of the things that he said. Yeah, request. Yeah. Although, wait, hold on. With your mission like to bring back your bride, so like the genie is offering in that case rather than him requesting it. That seems weird, actually. Anyway.
Yet cozy above, where we can ride our own happy ending.
I steal everything.
We'll get
Meaning everything.
that happy ending.
I want
I'll steal everything tonight.
Oh.
Hi there.
Harmony. Hello. Jafar has the best facial expressions too. Yeah. Also, like the ending of that, you know what? I'd forgotten how good the ending of that was. Yeah. Like then for the end of Act 1, of course, as well, they need like something big here, and usually that requires like a callback of several different songs. And this one they sort of managed that a little bit. I think maybe because like they had like so many different like tempos for it, they had to like stretch it a little bit to there, or like how far that could go towards the end. But hey, you know what? Harmony attack definitely effective. and the faces as well, and the fading shots of the camera. I think it's the first time we've had like fading shots, like crossfades in a Starkid production. So yeah, that's also nice to see. We're not done yet. Not quite.
So what happened?
Dude, I was swimming through this pile of gold in there, right? When it all turned into lava. I'm so lucky I escaped on this flying carpet.
I don't know if Aladdin would know what lava is, actually.
Did you get the lamp?
Well, I got a lamp.
Oh, wonderful boy! Toss it here.
Not so fast. You said you wanted a common oil lamp.
Yes.
Of absolutely no value.
Precisely, that's the one.
And this is once again Jafar fumbling his words and saying things he shouldn't and not saying things he should.
No, this couldn't be it. Because this lamp has a magic gin inside. He came out with He's really funny.
Oh, I'm sorry I knew about the gin. I'm sorry that I deceived you. I just needed it to save the kingdom.
Who, you lied, dude? All that other treasure was just lava in disguise. So I'm stealing this thing. Aladdin 1, Old Fort Zippo. See ya!
And that was deliberate facial expressions right there. All right, and so, well, he's also got the carpet, incidentally. That happened too. We got to the end of Act 1 at the precise 3-hour mark of the stream, because of course we did. So, that's been twisted so far. What do you think?
The show is great.
I think I know what you're going to say, but...
The show, great. That's not to be indicative of my opinion of certain characters.
I mean, no, of course not. Yeah, like in a lot of things, you can say that. Even in a lot of Starkid shows, you can say that for certain characters, depending on the show. Some of them don't have that. This one definitely does, but deliberately so, which in my mind is better than Quan Li.
So much better.
Because at least they're making them intentionally likable, like Aladdin and the princess as well, in different ways, and obviously to different extremes. Yeah, they flipped everything they could possibly. They got jammed in a bunch of Easter eggs. This is what I think Starkid was trying to gravitate towards a bit more. It feels like this is what Starship would have been if it had the more time and budget to it, and more songs to go along with its production. Because instead of parodying all sci-fis this time it's much more heavy critique of those things rather than just paying homage to thing exists, therefore is funny, versus this here. Yeah, it's a twisted interpretation of the characters. Well, some of the characters, I will say, Jafar is less twisted in this version than he is in the movie. But yes.
Honestly, none of them are even all that cringe. They just simply suck. It's just not a situation of bad writing or anything,
I think they're too funny. I think they're too funny to be cringe. Most of the time, cringe and comedy exist in isolation from each other. There is cringe comedy. There is a meeting point, but usually, never the twain shall meet. Most of the time.
Or I guess to clarify, I mean more so cringe. They're not cringe in the modern slang sense, but they do make me cringe in the general you gross, I hate you kind of way. Not like the funny first video type of cringe,
Yeah.
That's the distinction I guess I should make, because before I'm oh no, it's not Princess. I don't know. Princess ain't cringe. She's just so goddamn stupid. She's just infuriating.
Again, I get the impression that this is how the once they dug deep, this is how the Langs saw these characters. Maybe not Aladdin actually, or Jafar. Aladdin, of course, I'm pretty sure he was around 16, 17, I think. He was definitely not 33. But and Jafar definitely had much more evil intents. I guess there was no Sherizad to also not even steer him in that way. He was already like driven in that form. He just was, you know, bogged down by, I guess, the all of the royal court members that I guess either quit or died before he got to royal vizier position, or were sacked along with the 2D department and thrown out of the window of the highest tower in the west. So yeah. Princess Young has room for redemption. Aladdin's beyond hope. Okay, yeah. Also another thing, yeah, again, that's what I said before. I like how they wrote the princess to be like this, like how a 16-year-old would sound if she were in that situation. And also like to, you know, sick tigers at princes, which we shouldn't forget as well, you know. She's definitely caused a lot of harm.
I will say, just because I made a point earlier before Aladdin really entered the picture and showed his true colors, that I made a point whenever, because the reason Jacob's now specifying if they're in that situation is because I said teenager, like 16-years are not generally this dumb, which I still hold to. But what I will say is, given what we now know happens later in this act, I will note, you know, that is not to say that it is uncommon for 16-year-olds to fall under the same sort of trap that this one fell for Aladdin. That bit is just simply common.
Yeah. Because because ultimately,
so I just want to din that
to
statement.
Trickery because you don't know better. Yeah. So again, another thing, the reason why Princess being young, she has room to grow because she's room to learn and to know better. But then again, it really depends. Like if someone can actually reach her. Jafar has absolutely tried. But yeah, because of, you know, even though he's not green, he's hated, which again is why I prefer this to Wicked. Quite honestly, it doesn't need to go into like, oh yeah, no, this person that we've like, I'm pulling like all these different like strings to make sure they're perceived as like, you know, as wicked by people who they've actually like just protesting the system basically, and a quote unquote woman of color. No, here we have somebody who like he tried. The system was already corrupt to begin with, and yet because you know, and still now the common folk have forgotten what he stood for originally. You know, it's much more aligned to like, you know, like politics in general. Like again, you don't, like I said at the beginning of this, you don't normally sympathize with the politician compared to literally anyone else in the production. And that's before we met Aladdin, so you know that still stands to reason. Okie dokie. I think that's enough for now. I could talk more about the foreshadowing, but I'm not going to because we've got a week in which to forget about it entirely. So, so yeah. Hopefully you'll be able to come back for Act 2. We were doing it at the same time next week. So yeah, for now. Let us know your thoughts of liking or disliking, and subscribe if you've done this already. And that's a combination of the two things. I'll leave you your comments on, you know, what things you might have missed out on, or I guess maybe what lyric did we talk over by accident that you think we should definitely address. As well as, did you hear Wealth or Welsh? I still want to know those comments. And we'll see you all soon enough.
Based on the immediate reaction, I get the feeling the comments are not going to be on my side, but
I'm still trying to encourage, like, incentivize like engagement, you know? It's still good for the channel ultimately.
I definitely heard well, but I don't think I was right.
Okay, well, either way, we'll see you all soon enough in another Butter Bunch video. Toodle pip.
Bye.